Hi everyone. Welcome to Saturday's Speedrunner Spotlight because Sunday didn't work out. So I put Sunday in quotation marks for everything. But
That's how we do it around here. ROM
yeah,
Hack Wednesdays, definitely on Wednesdays.
every Wednesday on the dot without fail. But I will upload the YouTube video tomorrow, so at least YouTube people won't be confused because there's just a ton of YouTube people, I'm sure. Anyway, how you doing, Cosmic?
Oh, hello. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me, GTAs.
Yeah, this was supposed to be in person, but my flight didn't work. So here we are. Not in person, but it'd be like that.
That's
So,
so sad.
yeah, very sad. Had to be at the airport for a nice 4 hours, angry. But don't trust airlines. That's all I'll say.
True, that
Anyway,
really messed up.
they really messed up. Well, on a lighter note, let's talk about your history with speedrunning as we do here, because that's a fun topic, unlike airlines. So, what got you into it?
Well, let's see. Probably the first thing I can remember is it must have been the 2007 5-minute flat by Andrew G. I
Mm,
actually remember seeing that video and my dad commenting. He's like, yeah, this guy, he knows every pixel of this game, I guess. And I'm just like, yeah, this guy's crazy. What?
mm-hmm.
Um, every now and then I would kind of try and speedrun a level in Super Mario Brothers. Um, it's funny because, as I get farther, I didn't really think that I started with SMB1, but I kind of did because one of my first exposures was that video, and then I would try and speedrun the videos. One time or the levels, I challenged my brother to see who could beat the game faster, and I'd just been practicing getting past the stairs without slowing down, and so I play 1-1 with no slowdown at all. I probably didn't use the pipe right, but I was so proud. I'm like, I nailed the stairs, let's go. But then I kept going and I just died because I was trying to go fast and I didn't know how to play any other level.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother got power ups and he's killing everything. And I'm like, this, you can't get the power ups like that. You lost time doing that. But of course, he actually beat the game, so I got destroyed. But anyway, I did the stairs fast.
There you go. That's all that
Um,
matters.
yeah. So fast forward a few years, I start seeing some like TAS videos, probably mostly what I would see. Like Ocarina of Time TASs. Mr. Gruns is the first person I subscribed to on YouTube. He tasked Ocarina of Time and famously has the first Majora's Mask full game TAS, which is really cool.
Hmm.
And yeah, let's see. So yeah, I just started subscribing to a bunch of different Ocarina of Time people, Runner Guy, Brian MP16, um, people like that, Alec Kermit, and yeah, I just loved seeing their segmented runs. Oh, Mano Cheese, watched his entire segmented 50 segment speed run. And yeah, I found SDA. Mostly, it was just all these different places I would see speedruns. I would go to YouTube search bar, SDA search bar, and just search a game that I thought was cool and maybe watch a speedrun of it if it existed. Or I would even just search a game I thought was cool, maybe Mario Kart 64. I'd be like Mario Kart 64 glitches, and then I would just see what I could find. And I thought that stuff was really cool, but most of the time I would try and copy what I saw and I couldn't do it. I was like, I could not speedrun. It's impossible.
It's very
um,
impossible.
yeah. I did some stuff, but most of it, you know. Uh, I did somehow work the magic to get green gauntlets in Ocarina of Time. If you know anything about that or RBA, it's complex and I had no idea what was happening, but I followed the steps. It was like one of those unlock Luigi in Mario 64 kind of things. It's do this random sequence of events and you'll get them, but it actually worked. And I was like, what? This is crazy. Um, yeah, so anyway, finally, one of the people I was subscribed to, Brian MP16, he made a video about Ocarina of Time bingo. And I was like, whoa, this is way too cool to not try. this is just awesome. So it also linked to Speedruns Live, and that's how I really got into it because I could go on there and suddenly I was like directly connected to all the people. I could be like, how does this trick work? And they would just help.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot smaller back then too, so you could like have direct connections. It'd be really easy to talk to people.
Yeah, dude,
Nowadays, there's
this
hundreds
is
of thousands of people. It's like, oh,
yeah. We're talking like Ocarina of Time community, which is notably like one of the bigger in speedrunning, and you could still note like every new person. You're like, oh, that's a new person. Yeah.
yeah, I can't imagine what it was like back then. I mean, I already know it's already like I don't know quadrupled in size since I started, and when I started, people were like, "Wow, it's so much bigger than it used to be." So it's just
Yeah.
it just won't stop growing.
And it's funny because it's so much bigger, but also that whole faction of like racing and speedruns live and stuff kind of is way smaller. Like it doesn't
It
happen.
is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame. I've talked about it before with other people. Like races were really fun, but I like started doing them when they started dying off. So it's like you don't see those a lot anymore, unless it's for like an
Hmm.
event or something. I mean, people
Right.
still do it for fun. There's like the race time GG one, but that doesn't have a ton of attention or activity, at least not where I look. So, but
Yeah.
sounds
Like
like back
that.
then it was the stuff to do.
Yeah. That like was speedrunning for a lot of people. Like I would come home from school or like if I had work, I'd come home from work and then I would like do one or two Ocarina of Time bingos and that was my day. Right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Yeah. So bingo is like completing objectives, and you got to complete a row, and it's like all random. I've
Yeah.
never
It's
done a
kind
bingo.
of
It's interest. I kind of understand the concept at least, but
It's kind of like the first randomizer, right? But you don't change the game at all. You just like randomize the objective. So
hmm
every run is different, but still the same game, which is kind of cool.
it's very like it's formats like that. Like you don't see that anymore, but like the concept of it just sounds so cool. But
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
like what
that's
games can it work for? Like I know Mario 64
yeah.
OT, they have like a huge amount of whatever, but you can almost do it with any game, I feel, but it's only like a select few that really like do a lot with it.
Yeah, the ones that let you go anywhere at any time, like the most broken like open world ones are usually the best.
Hmm.
Um like Donkey Kong 64 I think is equally as good as Ocarina of Time. It's just not as many players.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the crazy thing with Ocarina of Time. Andrew G was just tweeting this the other day. He's like, "Is do people even speedrun this game anymore? It was like the most popular. Like, what happened?" And I actually don't think anything changed. In fact, it's bigger than it was. It's just people. Honestly, not a lot of like the game hasn't been that popular for doing RTAs.
Hmm.
Just like speedrunning categories on a leaderboard. More often, people just like race it and do random goals like that, like bingo, or they'll come up with or randomizer. Yeah, these days super popular. Or something really cool right now is the Ocarina of Time Master Series. It's like one of my favorite things in speedrunning is sometimes they'll have these series people come up with where it's like here is a task and everyone go secretly, or this time they're even kind of like collaborating, which is not what's quite happened in the past, but a lot of times they'll have this goal and everyone goes and secretly like routes it and comes up with their best route or submission, and then you find out on the reveal stream how everyone did. I think those are super cool. Those are pretty popular with like Mario 64 tasking also.
Hmm. Yeah, I hang out with a lot of the ABC people more recently, so a lot of people that would do those competitions. And yeah, those reveal streams were always fun to watch, I remember. And they pull off some wacky stuff, which
Yeah.
is always the fun thing. I love when they make the little compilation, especially the Mario 64 one, where they put all of the Marios in one thing. And
Yeah,
like
that's
you
so
just
cool.
see see them
That's like the
scatter.
flibbity dibbity of
Yeah,
Mario
exactly.
64, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about that when it comes up because that's a super cool topic.
Yeah.
Um, so so you were doing OOT races, but what happened after that? Like, let's keep
Right.
going through the timeline, I guess.
It's so convoluted because I'm like I started with Ocarina of Time, but like actually SMB1 back here. But actually my first race on Speedruns Live was Mario World because that was just uh well okay. If you go up very early on my YouTube channel, you'll see a bunch of ILs of like new Super Mario Bros. Because I
Hmm.
don't know, I was just like finding anything I felt decent enough at to do a playthrough of. I even thought I wasn't good enough to do real time runs, and so I was like, I'll do tassing. It's easier because you don't have to like execute. Tassing is way harder.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I have some like Mario World tasks, and I tried doing some RTAs. I could beat it in like 16 minutes or something. So that was another game I was like kind of interested in. Um, so yeah, I like joined my first SRL race. I was playing on a Z SNES, which is an emulator that is not allowed. I was
Nope.
not streaming, which you have to stream if you play on emulator. But it's okay because like my controller stopped working and I forfeit anyway. But it's just really funny.
Saved.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ocarina of Time. Um. Yeah. There were like other games I was interested in. Like I would see runs of Donkey Kong 64, Super Metroid, Super Mario Brothers, and occasionally I'd like start watching the streams enough. Like while I was watching them do attempts, I would like kind of learn on the side and like practice, and so that was kind of fun. I learned Donkey Kong 64 that way. And then yeah, one day there was just randomly a race of Super Mario Brothers. Um I think Mug was in it. I remember someone got like 6 minutes or like just sub 6 minutes, and that was like good at the
Hmm.
time, like really
Oh
good.
yeah.
It's like, whoa, we got sub six. It's just funny. But yeah, I was like, oh, I want to do that. I was able to join the race, what you call it like a blind race, because I didn't know how to speedrun it. But I knew the game is short. I'm not gonna be here for 8 hours or whatever. It still took me an hour and 10 minutes. I did like answer the door in the middle, and I did know you could like hold A to continue from the
Hmm.
world you game over on, but still. Um, yeah. So that was my first race of SMB1, and from there I was like, yo, I want to get sub 6 like that guy. And then I did, and then I saw a warpless race and I joined that. I think it took like an hour and a half, but some other people got around 20 minutes, and I was like, I want to do that. So just kept racing, and uh, if there were certain spots I game overed on a lot, I'd like, I'd play to that part and then like try it a couple times, game over, like have to play back to the level.
Hmm. Yeah, there were no
Practicing
save
was so
states or
horrible back
anything.
then.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's how I got into SMB1.
And then you played it for a little bit and then gave it up, right?
Yeah, that was just a short phase of my
Short
speedrunning.
phase.
Um, so that was January 2012 that I first raced SMB1. Um, October 1st, 2011 was my first race on SRL. So just a few months later, first SMB1 race. And then that summer, I got like really into Warpless because I got close to like sub 20, and the world record was 1940. So I think I got a 1959, but I had like a 18-second death or something. I was like, oh, wait, you could break the world record? Aren't SMB1 world records supposed to be like perfect? Like, how come I could break this? And I just like assumed that you couldn't beat it. But at that point, I went and watched it, and I was like, what? He just loses like 2 seconds in 7-4 and, other time over here. And I was like, what? Why is this beatable? Okay, I'll try. And then, yeah, I finally beat it November 2012. But it wasn't even my first world record. SMB1 wasn't my first speed game or world record. My first one was like a week earlier in Donkey Kong 64 any percent. I was already competitive at the top level, but then a new trick was found that really like I don't know. I don't know how to feel if I like really was like a top contender or if it was like Ring Rush just wasn't playing and there was a new trick. I think I could have beaten the record either way, but still, new trick really made it easier. And yeah,
So DK64 world record holder, the most important
that's
one
me.
of your career right there.
Yeah,
Because
one
it
of the only
started off,
people,
so you could say
one
it
of the
was.
only. Oh yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm notable DK64 memer.
Hmm,
One of the
true.
only people to supply footage to Summoning Salt in the world record progression. Because it's just like all lost for some reason.
Well, it's not that popular of a community, right? So, and especially back then, it's probably harder to have a bunch of footage, especially with Twitch always removing whatever they feel like.
Yeah. So back then, Twitch, I guess, was small enough that you didn't have to save each broadcast before it to get deleted. Um, like I guess the only point of highlighting would be to like trim it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Ring Rush just never highlighted anything, or even if it was that it would get deleted, he probably was just like, I mean, this run was bad. I'll beat it later. And yeah, that happens a lot with speedrunning. People are they beat a run, they get a time, and they're like, I'll beat it soon. I'm not even gonna submit it to the leaderboard. Like my 2J any percent PB was submitted by some other random person that is
Hmm.
on this stream. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, a lot of the stuff just got deleted one day when Twitch was like, yeah, we can't hang on to all these old broadcasts. But they didn't give any warning, which is so stupid.
Of course. Yeah. Classic Twitch move, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, and then the SMB1 warpless record, you beat it by, what was it, 6 seconds, right?
I think so. I need to ask, like, some people were retiming all these old runs to make sure they were timed correctly. And I feel like that run's always been timed wrong, but what
Hmm.
do I know? So I need to like check for sure. But um yeah, I beat it by like 5 or 6 seconds, probably six. And then I started doing any percent attempts, and because I wanted to get a sub five, like supposedly only one other person had done it, but I think later we found out like Hood Ruby already had to. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Or was it Hood? No, I just don't even know. The Japanese SMB1 lore is like I just don't know still.
Especially back then, it's so hard to get information overseas like that. So there was
Yeah,
like no way to know back then.
yeah. Maybe it was. Yeah, I can't even remember who it was. But anyway, yeah. So I started doing sub five attempts, and I was like, why are my times not faster? This is weird. And then I made this video. Or no, dude, the times were so primitive. I
Mm-hmm.
would like play Andrew G's video and start at the same time, and then he would just get ahead of me. I had to like do basically a real attempt, get to like world 8 before messing up, but like getting a flawless run. So I could look and be like, why is he like, you know, half a second ahead of me? I don't know what's going on. And so I just figured that I was playing on Wii Virtual Console, and that must have been the problem. Uh,
Yep.
all of that time I'd been playing SMB1 on a GameCube controller, by the way.
With that D-pad, keep that in mind.
Yep.
No.
So yeah, it was just convenient because like I did Ocarina of Time and Mario 64 on my Wii, and so I was like, I'll just do this one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Then I switched to NES and I got sub 5 that night. Let's go. It was
It's
so
just
much
that
easier to
easy.
play on, dude. I
Mm-hmm.
had training weights the whole time.
It's true. So when you beat the warpless record by 6 seconds, it was actually like 10
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah, something like
frame rate
that.
difference.
Mhm.
But obviously, time runs in real time, so it was 6 seconds. But gameplay
Yeah, and
wise, if it was NES, like 10 seconds.
yeah, which that's kind of surprising to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I lost like 4 seconds in 8-4. So I got like under 300 on the in-game time.
Mm.
It's just so bad.
Hey, it was good enough, and that's what matters.
That's true.
All right, so what next?
Hmm. Well, then I started running Mario 3D Land, I guess. And I mean, that had when that game came out, there's a guy named Pokey Pummel 17. He goes by a bunch of different stuff, but um he started uploading a couple speedruns of Mario 3D Land levels. I was like, this is pretty cool. And we wanted to race, but we didn't want to collect any of the star medals because we thought it was lame. We just
Hmm.
wanted to like beat the levels as fast as we could. And you can do that until World 5, and then at the end of World 5, you need 50 to unlock the last level there. So we're like, let's just race to somewhere where we don't need star medals. And 5-2 in that game is like a Zelda themed level. It's like overhead, has like a Link to the Past type traps, and there's like a torch puzzle where you light all the torches and it plays a Zelda jingle. And so we're like, dude, let's just race to 5-2 because we were like all Ocarina of Time runners, and yeah, so we raced a ton of beat 5-2 Warpless. It was hot stuff. And the really funny thing is, I remember racing and like Pokey was just unbeatable. And then one day I decided to practice the game, and then I just like destroyed his time. And I was like, whoa, like, how does that work? You
Wow,
practice?
practicing helps? Crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
I like found a couple new skips, and yeah,
Well, yep, remember to practice. Apparently it's important. Yeah,
yeah,
3D land. Could you
dude,
did you have like
would it
capture
be okay?
cards?
Oh,
Because
no.
yeah.
So, yeah, we were racing and none of us were streaming or recording any of the footage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would just dot done and people were like, oh, guess he was done.
Yep.
Yeah, until Christmas. Like, so that came out end of 2011, and I guess we probably were racing it sort of over the course of 2012. But then Christmas 2012, I'm like 17-year-old lad, and wait, yeah, I was 17. And I was like, parents, I need this capture card so I can like properly stream this game. And yeah, I think I like went in halvesies with them to get it. But yeah, got that 3DS capture card, and then I think January, maybe like March, I don't remember. I could go check, but pretty shortly after I got it, got the any percent record, which the one at the time was actually pretty strong. Some like Japanese player had put up this like high 57-minute time, which was it was like really good for they just came up with all the strats on their own, and they're just this random person with a capture card playing. And yeah, so I like stole some of their strats, but mostly made some faster ones, and then beat it.
Well, there you go. Man, how expensive were 3DS capture cards back then?
So it was $250. It's probably not that different from what it is now.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that's if you supply your own 3DS.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But I heard from another conversation I had, I forgot which one, but apparently, like, if you have a new 3DS, there's like some software you can download that'll capture it somehow,
Yeah, it's
which
like
that's cool. I don't
streams
know
it
how
over
that works.
Wi-Fi basically, and so that's really good for if you just want to stream casual stuff. But for
Mm-hmm.
speedrunning, it actually like changes your loading times and makes them faster. You have to like
Oh,
overclock your system or something.
hmm.
So yeah, it's not allowed in most or all speedruns. I don't know.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah. I don't know if I'd ever get around to streaming a thing. I probably would never run a game that way, but yeah, for casual, that's cool then.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have to research that more. I didn't know it was. I don't know how any of that works. I was just like, oh, that's cool. Apparently, it's a little
Hmm.
more complicated than that. Right. So 3D Land record.
Yeah. Then over 2013, I was trying to beat the SMB1 any percent record.
Mm.
The theme here is that I thought speedrunning was cool, but it's impossible. I can't do any of the stuff until
Mm-hmm.
like some thing bridges the gap, like speedruns alive, and I'm like, oh, okay, it actually is possible. You just have to like get help, like crazy concept,
Get help,
or like
practice.
just try more, like learn information helps you do things. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then yeah, so then I'm playing. I'm like, Warpless is pretty cool. Oh, suddenly, could I beat the Warpless record? Oh, it looks like it's beatable, so I beat it. And then, but the any percent record, like SMB1 any percent, that's the perfect one. You can't beat that until I'm like, wait, I got sub 5, and he loses like a little bit of time here. Like, what? Maybe I could. So yeah, I started trying to beat it, and that's when Andrew G was trying to do fast 4-2, two bump,
Mm-hmm.
super random garbage, and he got a run with it. Um, so he got like what? I guess he would have gotten like 458.15 or something, and then I think I got 458.35, and I was like, or 34, I don't remember. And I was like, man, this would have been the world record if I was just like a little suit earlier. And I think even when he got a 458.3, I got a 458.5, and I was like, man, this would have been the world record if I was just a little earlier. And yeah, so I did attempts with Fast 4-2, and I got a run to 8-4. I know I got at least one. I can't remember how many I got, but I was I was competitive, but at that time I never broke the record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, old fast 4-2 is not fun.
Dude,
I can't
there's
imagine.
nothing there's nothing like it though when you go down the pipe and you're like, "Oh, it worked." And then like there's no faster just physical response I've ever felt.
I mean,
um
fair.
yeah.
And that was back before you knew how to in 8-1 like despawn, like you stomp the Koopas to despawn that Goomba.
Yeah.
So we were like doing the frame perfect jump thing too,
Yeah. And most of the time we just lost it in the warp zone immediately somehow.
or that.
So
God, it was so much harder back then.
it was, dude.
Yeah, people today don't even know just how hard 458 was.
Yeah, with the two frame wall jump and the 8-1 despawn, that really makes sub 5 a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could just not like you could just lose a frame rule in 8-1 and skip wall jump, honestly, and you still could sub 5, so
Yeah,
just
there
a
were
little
ways
harder.
around it, but I mean, back then
Yeah.
at world record level, you had to hit everything, and
Yeah.
like it's much easier now to do all of those at least specific things. But
100% the biggest thing is, again, sometimes I forget that we didn't have save states. And
mm-hmm.
so all of my 8-4 practice was like from Game Genie code for infinite lives and just dying every time I wanted to play the level again. I had to die, run through that long first room that doesn't need any practice at all,
Mm-hmm.
and then like try the wall jump with random subpixels because I'm not doing like the frame perfect jump and garbage.
Yeah. Thank God for time and information
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I would not have wanted to deal with any of that back then.
Yeah, there was like two people, me and Andrew G, and we didn't really like communicate that much, I don't think. I think occasionally I'd ask a question through like YouTube messages, which is not a thing.
Oh, not comments.
No.
Oh,
There was like an inbox. I'm pretty sure I would like email him through YouTube or something.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I had YouTube back then, I think, but I don't remember. God.
Yeah, and dude, another thing is I used to be like really jealous, or in some of my old videos, I think you can even hear me talking about like, "Ugh, this guy is like gushing about Andrew G in his chat. Like, they treat him like some kind of god, like he's just a human. Come on, people. And I was like really salty about it. um,
I felt
but
that
to
way
be
before,
fair,
I'll be honest.
yeah, a lot of people have, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's a common like human thing probably.
Yeah, and I even felt the same way about Darbian for a while, but I
Mhm.
mean, like half my viewership is probably thanks to him. So, um, yeah. What was I gonna say? Um, I don't remember.
Hmm. Well, despite all the jealousy over time, like friendships form eventually. Like it's all in good
Yeah,
fun, not real hatred or anything.
yeah. Like of any
Unlike
person,
what
like Andrew
comments
G
will
is.
tell you. Yeah. Like, why don't you hate each other? You guys should fight IRL. It's like, what? People
Yeah,
don't know how competition works.
yeah. I've said this before. I'm like, they're treating us like we're sports teams. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why do people treat sports teams like that? It's so
Yeah.
weird.
People like die for their sports team. And it's like, you're not doing anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you can root for whoever, but nothing you do affects them. So you don't have to like dedicate your life to them.
Yeah, even like poking fun is like kind of whatever, you know, you're just like, haha, like
Mm-hmm.
Colts fans or whatever. I don't even know, I just made one
Yeah.
up. But
Mm-hmm.
um it's different when it's just a random stranger, they're like wearing their jersey and you're like, I hate you genuinely. It's
I
weird.
hate you generally. Yeah, it reminds me like yeah, like speedrunners can poke fun of each other, but then people in chat will be like, "Yeah, screw that guy." It's like it was a joke, man. Like
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, it's very interesting how that all works.
Yeah.
So, what was that low 458? I'm trying to get back on timeline topic. I tried to do the job of remembering where we were before tangents arise.
Very good.
So,
Yeah. So at the end of 2013, Cosmic disappeared.
oh, bye.
Bye. I actually do need to go get like something to drink if that's all right. This will be symbolic of my 2 year break
Okay.
absence.
We'll do a live interpretation of what it was like.
Okay.
All right, so this is yep, this is what happened, but for 2 years. So this will be like 2 minutes. So every minute's a year. You know, a good symbolic representation, as I said. See, I came prepared. I have water, so how's it going, everyone? Hey, this is how it goes. I mean, one time I had to mute because someone like came downstairs, so it's fine. The most interview of all time. True. I love that saying. I say that the most of all time.
Cosmic is back. Whoa.
Whoa, 2 years
Uh,
went flying by.
yeah, now Mav exists and he's like and summoning Salt. They're like in my chat and Darby raided me, but I was offline because I wasn't back yet.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're all experiencing this moment very real right now.
Yep, I feel it.
Yeah. So, yeah, end of 2013, I went on a 2 year religious mission. So it's like a 24/7 thing for like 2 years, like just super full time dedicated to one thing. So there
Mm.
was no like speed running or anything. We were just like finding people that we could teach good principles that can improve their lives and about Jesus Christ
Mm.
and or even just helping people out in any way that we could. They're like, "Oh, you're like moving right now. Could we help you load that truck up or, you know, just whatever." And so, yeah, it was a good time.
Reminds me
Definitely
of
like
religious Boy Scouts.
kind of, yeah, I haven't heard of that, but I
Well,
imagine.
I was in Boy Scouts a long time ago, so I kind of just that's kind of how it was. like just helping
Okay.
people randomly sometimes at least. Depends.
Yeah, I was
It
too,
wasn't
but also
24/7 though.
it was kind of like through church. So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess kind of the same thing.
different but kind of.
Yeah. Um so yeah, it was a really good thing. Like, some people when they graduate high school, they like go off to school, or they like go in the army or like whatever, and
Hmm.
depending on where you go, like you'll get different life experiences. I think it was like just a super good thing for me to establish a path for the rest of my life. So
Well, as long as you
yeah,
thought it was beneficial to your life, perfect.
yeah, for sure. It helped other people, helped me probably more than anyone. So it was really
Yeah,
good.
it's good to hear.
And then yep, came back and there was I had this like I remember I had this bot that you could do like exclamation return or something and it would say like how many days until I would come back. But I'm pretty sure it broke like 2 weeks after I left or something.
Well,
Like my title was just like type this command to see when I come back, but it just like didn't work. There's some screenshot. I wish I could find it. Um Man, like Mav for sure has it. I
mm,
I don't want to in the middle of like just go searching for this, but it'd be so cool to show. Where Darby and rated like 2 years to the day. I came back like 4 years, like 2 years and 4 days.
hmm.
Um, but 2 years to the day, Darby and like rated, and he's like, all the chat is like, Cosmic, where are you? Like they're like trying the command and it doesn't work. There's like Mav and summoning salt, and it's just really great.
So,
So
w-
yeah.
when you left, was Darby around yet?
Yeah, he was. Darbian showed up for SRL seasons, which
Mm.
is an interesting period of time. It was like they picked 10 or 20 games or something, and they're like, we're going to track all the races in these games for a season and just like see who does the best. And me, Andrew G, and Darbian were the top three. So Darbian like kind of appeared during that. I don't know if I think he'd been hanging around on some like SDA forums for Mickey's Magic Castle or like, random stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, but he showed up for SMB1. Like me, same with Rupert. That's when I remember him. Um, I remember being in a Skype call with like Darby and Rupert in 2013. So that was pretty cool to look back on. But yeah, we're we're all like the hard thing to do back then was getting 370 in 1-1 like during the race. It was like, whoa, he got 370, nice. um yeah, so that's when Darbian was around. I think he mostly just did Warpless until I left. It's funny, um when I think I left with a 1920 in SMB1 Warpless, and by then the record had gone down because they used the Fire Flower, but I
Hmm.
didn't. Whenever I would try and go learn it, again, we didn't have save states, so it was like a nightmare to practice. You get hit, I don't have a Fire Flower anymore, like,
So
I can't practice.
you have to just restart the game and get it all
Yeah, it's
back. Yeah.
horrible. Um, So anyway, I started realizing that you would get the same patterns, and this wasn't new knowledge. Like
Hmm.
frame rules exist, but I realized like you could route them. I think I realized you could just like wait a little bit on the title screen, and then if I had a perfect run, like 6-4 Bowser and 7-4 Bowser, like I could run right under them, which is a big deal with Small Mario
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Like yeah, so. Uh, I left on the mission and like shortly after I was like, man, you probably could do something like that for bullet bill glitch. At the time I thought it saved 1
Oh,
2 and
my internet jittered. Sorry. All right, we're
oh,
good.
we all good?
I think so.
Okay,
We'll
sweet.
hope.
So yeah, I thought the fast forward 2 and bullet bill glitch saved the same amount of time, and like I didn't know exactly how to do the bullet bill glitch, and I didn't have save states to practice it, and so I was like, we're just already getting 457 pace with fast forward 2. I'll just keep doing that. But
Hmm.
if I'd known it saved more time, I probably would have messed with bullet bill glitch more. But yeah, I was like, you could totally just find a time to arrive there where the bullet bill always shoots, and then sure enough, like I think 7 months, or 8 months after I left Blubbler, got a 457. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
There it is. You
And it
did it.
wasn't like 0.9 like we were trying to get. It was 0.6.
And that's when you knew, oh, it's 2 frame rules, not one.
Yeah.
Whoa. Because he didn't do fast forward 2, so it was like that low time without fast forward 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh.
But yeah, I didn't watch it, so I didn't know for sure, but someone probably told me.
Hmm. I need to fix my alerts. It's cropping out poorly. I'm good at making stream layouts. Anyway, so you came back. What happened?
Um, I came back. The first thing I invested in was a power pack. That was the meta.
There it
And
is.
yeah, I got back into SMB1 any percent. I remember I did my first stream back and I was like, I'm gonna do a warpless run. Uh I just like hadn't played the game in 2 years. And then somehow, like, I couldn't even remember what a couple of the levels looked like. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, but I would just like keep speedrunning and I'm like last second reacting or like muscle memorying my way through this. I was like, this is crazy. Uh, I got a 20-minute, 13-second time. I think there was like a couple deaths later in the run. So that was like really good for not playing for 2 years. Um,
What's
yeah, that was
Rust?
fun. Yeah. And then I can't remember who said it. It was like, I don't remember who. Mr. Cab? I can't remember. But someone was like, uh, yeah, I was like, dude, this is the SMB1 Warpless with 2 years of Rust world record.
Hmm.
And then someone was like, I hope you never try and beat this. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I just started playing some more any percent. Darby and had the record at that point, and he was trying fast forward 2, I think maybe. I needed to get a 457 at all first. I think I got like 457.99, but I had the turnaround wall jump that loses a bunch of time. And then when I got a 456, I also got the turnaround wall jump and I think got 0.99
Hmm.
or something. I don't know. It was like
The
ridiculous.
prophecy.
Yeah. Um yeah, let's see. 2016 was wild. I know I got back into Mario 3D Land and got that record again. I beat it by like 2 minutes from what it was before. Which is it's not like no one really there weren't like a bunch of new stuff found because like not a lot of people played it. And I don't know why I could come back and just beat it by like 2 minutes. I think I just had a better approach and I had some new ideas, but yeah, beat it by a bunch. And then late 2016, we were still trying to get runs with Fast Forward 2. I don't know if I ever had a PB with Fast Forward 2, which is kind of weird for. I probably had, like collectively a year of attempts with Fast Forward 2 stuff. Or maybe just like 6 or 7 months. But yeah, I don't think I ever PB'd with Fast Forward 2. But Flagpole Glitch comes out. Like Darbian gets his 457.24 or whatever. He got like 0.26, and then people were like, "You'll never beat this," and then he like keeps playing.
Beat it by a
Sometime
frame
later,
by
just for
accident.
fun.
It's
Yeah,
funny that what's interesting about that run. I remember he does a fast excel in 8-4, like a
yeah.
very
Which
primitive fast excel.
yeah, I like don't think it saved time, but
Maybe not, but it's just interesting that was like that's like the only time you'd see it until much later.
yeah, because his 8-3 his 8-3-8-4 it's just like SMB1 speedrunner talk for how fast you beat it was like considered like you couldn't match that, so you like had to add this fast excel. Now they're beating it by like full frame rules, but yeah, so anyway, sock folder finds the Flagpole Glitch setup, which I'd known about sock folder since early 2012, maybe even end of 2011. Because he was finding setups for like this out of bounds skip in the Deku Tree in Ocarina of Time. Like entering Jabu Jabu as adult, stuff like that. And yeah, so I'd known about him, and then he's like starts running his bot to try and find a flagpole glitch setup, and I'm like, whoa, it's happening. But it won't happen. Like it's too hard. They tell us it's too hard, so it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he finds a setup, and it's like so doable that Darbian comes in my chat. I'm about to end stream, and he raids me, and he's like, no, like this setup just got found. You have to try it. And I was like, okay, guys, I'll mess with it really quick. I'll do like 10 minutes or something. And I'm like just messing with the practice ROM thing he made that like Mario would flash when you did the setup right. And yeah, I like got it in 10 minutes or something. And I was like, whoa, this is really doable. And then I'm like, okay, stream's done now. And they're like, no, like do 5 attempts. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna get it in 5 attempts. But on attempt 4, I got it and saved the frame rule. So yeah, we were just like, I was gonna say fastest run to 1-2, but Darbian had gotten a couple already. He'd gotten to like 4-2.
Plus, he had the original like map poll FPG.
Yeah, that's yeah. With
You were there too.
I was on voice, yeah, for the first one. That's crazy. I mean, the funny thing is now, if all the world record required was like bullet bill glitch and a random, mav pull flagpole glitch, that'd be so easy, right? But at the time, it was like ridiculous. It was fast forward 2 also, which that adds a lot.
It does.
But yeah. Yep. Where are we again?
Like FPG, just the setup being found specifically. Whoops.
Yep. So I can't remember exactly when the setup was found. It must have been like late, like mid-September or like start of October or something. And yeah, I started doing runs with it. And instead of doing fast forward 2, I just did a flagpole glitch. It was like way easier. And I got what I thought was world record, and it was, but you can get a frame of lag when you do bullet bill glitch, and this had never happened in a world record or like probably anyone's PB. I don't know. We just called it lag frame, but we didn't like. I think someone had like told us it was a frame of lag, but like I didn't personally know for sure. I'm like maybe there's more than one frame. Like I'm not gonna just assume. So before we decide what the time of this run is, let's just like figure out exactly what time we lose. So yeah, turns out it's 1 frame. I thought I'd beat the record by 1 frame, but then there was a frame of lag, so tied record. Yeah, I was like, whatever. I'll just beat it. I'll just beat it with 2 flagpole glitches.
But that was your first like any percent record, right? Even though it was tied.
Yeah. The craziest thing is I like can't. I want to go back and hear my reactions. On the YouTube side of things, I only uploaded the gameplay footage. But on Twitch, I want to go back and hear my reactions. I remember I was like muted for at least one of them because it was like really late at night. But I think I still turned my mic on and like said a few things. And then the other one, I just don't even remember. Yeah, I can't remember. But the Twitch videos again, they're just like gone. I don't know. I figure I must have highlighted them. It's my first SMB1 any percent record, but I just like, can't find them. Or if I can, they're just like black screens that don't work.
Maybe Mab has them. He has everything.
That's true. I should ask him.
I mean, I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll just beat it with 2 flagpole glitches now. It's fine. And then I did. But our bullet bill glitch setups used to be way worse. And so the bullet bill, it's funny that was the first setup found. It was like, there's so many better ones, but oftentimes you would just get this slow bullet bill shot, and oftentimes I would get it. And yeah, So I did 2 flagpole glitches, but I lost time on bullet bill glitch, and then I got world record by 3 frames. And then,
And
you
then
know,
you called it was 0.19.
I guess I did.
I remember the
I
Salt
get
video. That's what introduced me, was that video to speedrunning. Although he did get it wrong saying you only did 1 FPG, but you did 2 and lost BBG frame rule.
yes,
I can't
correct.
believe he'd lie like
I'm
this in
still
his first
bitter.
video. Yeah. Huge
Like
anger. Now, we will call you out for it.
I did the first skill-wise 456.
Mm.
Basically, like I just sat on the stairs and ate 2. It's really sad. I
Mm-hmm.
had 3 records like that actually. I had the first record with 1 flagpole glitch, 2 flagpole glitch, and 3 flagpole glitch. But the 2 flagpole glitch one lost, slow bullet
BBG.
bill. The 3 flagpole glitch one slow bullet bill.
Mm-hmm.
I just like made it up with 8-3. I also had the first record with fast or 4-2 blaze it clip,
Mm-hmm.
and the first record with 1-2 clip. So it's funny because I feel like until 455, I never got a new frame rule. I always just like got tied to 8-4 and then beat them with a faster 8-4. And yet, I did the first runs with like all these different tricks, but I just like got bad bullet bill glitch and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah, 457.19, and then a few days later, Darby got 456.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like right after where he broke
Yeah,
his
I think it
camera.
was 3 days between my 2 runs, and then like 4 more days to his or something.
A lot of activity then. It wasn't a random 8-3 FPG setup, right?
No,
It was like the buffer and then release right one, right?
it
The one
was
that you did because
no, it was walk and then push B on the right frame.
okay, you did do that one.
In my like
You're
later
right.
runs in
I
PB,
forget Darbian's
yeah.
mid did that. Okay, I had the timeline wrong. Yeah, Darbian's mid did that, so yours that was earlier would have had to do that because the buffer jump wasn't found yet. And then Kriller was super later. But yeah, frame perfect B press and then
Wait,
FPG.
did I lie?
Hmm?
Oh no, that was when I tied record. Yeah,
Yeah, you hit a 3 FPG and then tied record.
yeah.
And so that obviously was before Darbian's mid, where you did that same setup. So that had to have been what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we want to talk about random 8-3 FPGs real quick, I remember when I first started running, I would like I was trying to task, but anytime I would task, I would do real inputs just on my keyboard. And I was trying to put together like a perfect run that I knew about. And so I didn't know about any 8-3 FPG setup, so I was doing like the backwards jump into the blocks at the end. Like I think what Mav did, like the first ever 8-3 FPG full level, I think Mav did something like that. Now that's a random setup.
Yeah, yeah. When just to like do it for the first time before we had a setup, I bonked into the bullet launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what Antimony thinks
Yeah.
or remembers.
So we're at 456. So that's like end of 2016, entering 2017, I believe.
Yeah.
This is still before my time.
Darbian Darbian started playing Mario Hour,
Mm.
and which is a really cool thing. You do SMB1, SMB2J, SMB2U, SMB3, SMW World, and Mario 64,
Mm-hmm.
all in 1 hour. Um, so I think I just started getting into like 2J any percent, and I was playing a little bit of that. I must have been because AGDQ 2017 was well, okay, I went to 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and no one had done a warpless run of SMB1 at a GDQ. So I got to do the first one, and I was so happy I got sub 20
Yeah, that's
with
insane
like,
for 2013.
yeah, small Mario only with a really costly death in 1-2 even.
Mm.
But yeah. I would have if I didn't have the death in 1-2. I could have been like I beat the SDA run, but fine. Yep. Uh, dude, that run. The only thing I wanted was to not run straight into the Koopa in 1-2, because you just like missed the jump window.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what I did. And right after, I'm like, yeah, like the most awkward.
Oh, there goes the internet. Oh, this is a full disconnection.
Hear
Dang.
you.
Yep. My internet does this thing where it stops working for 5 seconds. It's fun. It's happened to every single interview I've done.
Right on.
Yep.
Got
Hey,
our little intermission.
I didn't like get disconnected from OBS though. So, I
Oh, good.
guess we got that going. Anyway.
Yeah. So I made like the one mistake I didn't want to. There's a lot of really funny things about that run. Uh, I don't know, the couch and me being a weird, like tiny little 18-year-old with a giant hat, and I feel like I was just so awkward, but I just played really well, so that helped. And I feel like everyone was so tense in the room. Um,
Well, it's Mario 1.
yeah, I
Scary
guess so.
game. And you have no power-ups? What are you doing?
Yeah. It's funny because I should have just like kicked the Koopa shell or
Mm-hmm.
something in 1-2. Like, there's just no reason whatever. Live and learn. I'm a better speedrunner now.
It's
But
been a
anyway,
decade. That was an entirely different
yeah,
lifetime.
yeah. Um, that's true. Back then, I would go for tricks out of pure stubbornness or like spite or whatever. I don't know. Um. Anyway, AGDQ 2017. Me, Andrew G, and Darby, and we're all going to be there. So they really put us to work, and we did we did 3 separate runs, and then I had another run, which is crazy. I mean, 3 of them were basically the same game, right? So we did SMB1 Warpless, SMB1 Any Percent, and 2J Any Percent. So a bunch of short runs, basically the same game, and then I also had Mario 3D Land. But yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I'm a way, way better speedrunner than I was back then, but that was like one of my best showings at a GDQ. Well, actually, all of the 2D Mario runs were not very, very good, but 3D Land was like super good. So
I remember the 2J80% run. You game overed in 1-1 and won,
yeah,
which is funny.
game over in 1-1 and 1.
Yeah, 1-1 and 1.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the dumbest race.
That's what makes it content. It's what they want. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I learned SMB1 and 2J, and then there was just a few more games to learn. just 4 more. I already kind of knew Mario 64 for Mario Hour, yeah. So I learned 2U, Mario 3, and World, and then I got the Mario Hour. Let's go.
Were you the second or third person? Did Lack get it before you?
I think third, yeah.
Okay.
I think Lack did first.
But you were top 3. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
For a while too.
And I remember I had like easily a 58 pace run, and then I like fell down in Bowser in the Sky and like missed a bunch of throws or something. So I like didn't even PB. But then I didn't play it for 6 years, and then I beat my PB by like 4 minutes, so it's fine. But
yep.
yeah, so oh man. So we did that beginning of 2017. Then summer 2017, we did the relay, the 2D Mario relay, which was so cool, but also I played so bad. Fire Flower is broken, man, in comparison. I like taught Lack Attack how to do small fire like an hour before the event. And then he just like did it and got like a great time. Because it's just so much better than Small Mario
Small
or
Fire
whatever.
is the best Mario.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the relay, it was SMB 123 and World and 2J. 1 2 2 3 World.
Mm-hmm.
And Team Reznor, let's go. It was seeded, so like I was first seed in SMB1. I was supposed to like get us a lead out of the gate, but I've never been more nervous in my life than that run
Mm.
because I went first and it was a team event, which that always makes me really nervous because I have to like play well for the team's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just be like, I embarrass myself, whatever. Um, yeah, and I was like expected to get us a lead in the first game. I don't know. I just put way too much pressure on myself, honestly. So, yeah, but it was really fun and close, and it went back and forth. And a lot of the first seeds actually kind of blundered a bit. Like I think Darbian, he was the first seed for Lost Levels. I heard you talking about this with Supersonic the other day. Like he didn't get the fastest time in Lost Levels, and then Kirua did get the fastest Mario 3, but he was supposed to win by like 4 minutes or something, and then he only won by like 1 minute. I don't know. I don't remember.
Only one. Wow.
Yeah, he like having his team was just like set because
Mm-hmm.
he is crazy good at 3.
Oh yeah. That was right before he stopped too.
Yeah, yeah. He came for that event and then he went back home and he wanted to get the record in any percent, like with the wrong warp.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, if I get this record by this date, uh, I think he was, we recently, I know Something Salt just came out with that video
Mm-hmm.
of he was like taking a trip to Japan or whatever. This must have been something similar because he was like, if I get something by this date, I'll have some time where I can play SMB1 because he wanted to get sub 5. And so he did. Like 1 or 2 days before the deadline, he got his goal in SMB3. So he was like, "Okay, Cosmic." I had told him I'd like make a tutorial for him. I don't know if a lot of people know, but like my SMB1 tutorial, I like literally made it for Kirua. That's why it's like not super entry level, I guess. It like is for sub 5, but um I like don't explain a lot of stuff. I'm just like, this is what you should do to get sub 5,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, Kirua, I made that tutorial, sent it to him, and then I think he got sub 5 in like a week or something. Cause yeah, he's just that's how it goes. I mean, cool kid, other people, they've all like that's how it goes when you're really experienced and then you have a game like SMB1 where it's like, okay, I just have to nail these like 5 things and it's really straightforward and I can practice it with save states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nicrovita, the craziest example. I don't know if most people know, but he did SMB1 any percent for the 12-hour challenge and he did like 10 hours of practice or something. His first run, I say that was my first run ever. No, like literally his first run ever. He got 501 and he like botched the 8-4 wrong warp or something. He was like literally sub 5 pace halfway through 8-4. His first run ever. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he got it like the next run or something.
Yeah, like
It was
I
super
think the
quick.
next day, I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget exactly, but yeah, he's just like, wow, that was easy.
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah. One thing I remember is Pranzo. I think I remember
Uh-huh.
Takate talking about this or something, but back when he did more speed runs frequently, he was doing SMB1 any percent, and he like his first run was like an hour and a half or something. His next run was 6 minutes. And he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually not so bad once you get used to it."
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
how it
like,
goes,
"Yep,
man.
that's Mario 1." That's funny.
But that's why you always finish your first run.
Mm.
Like You just don't ever reset if you can PB.
Mm-hmm.
And especially your first run, dude, get some splits. Hope it's a terrible run. Then you can do your second run and you just get beautiful, beautiful splits.
Mm-hmm. All, or at least just full of gold, hopefully.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than doing your second run and you're just like, dude, I just saved like 10 minutes right there.
Yeah, it's true. You can only have your second run once.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, I need to fix my alerts. It is not cropped properly at all. I wanted them to cover my face, but my camera's in front of the layout, so it doesn't work.
Mm.
Anyway, so that was SGDQ 2017. You know, the next month I became aware of speedrunning. I know this is very
Oh.
important to your story, of course, but I'm just throwing that out there. I remember because it was
Well, I
August
was in the
2017.
video, right?
Yeah, yeah, well, it was. I do have some
Or
videos with my
you
name in it.
watched Mega Man first?
Yeah, it was weird. I'm trying to. I think I talked about this when I interviewed myself, and that. Geez, what is
Mm-hmm.
going on? Um, what was it? There was like some YouTuber I was watching that was talking about Mega Man music, so I looked up Mega Man that night or something, and his video popped up, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I don't know why, because I don't think it's something I would have usually watched, but god damn, am I glad I did.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Mario 1 was recommended right after, and I was like, oh, the first game I ever beat, my childhood? Yes, please. Here we are now.
Let's go.
Hmm.
The rest is history.
I love that history thing, and so many people have similar stories now.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people joined around that time for the same reason, but you joined a lot earlier than that.
Yeah. I joined early enough that I could watch streams where people pointed their cameras at a CRT. So that was fun.
Yeah, people did that in 2019 too.
Yeah. Even there's like a Mario 64 0-star or 1-star runner who's got the CRT cam.
Hey, it works. Nothing wrong with it. So, what'd you do after SGQ 2017? I think that's where we are.
Oh, man, I don't remember.
Mm.
Let me
When'd you
let
do
me go look at my
2J
Twitch bio.
again? Hmm. Yeah, you can do that. You do have the world record timeline.
Yeah. Let's see. 2017. I guess I was playing Mario 2J any percent.
Okay, so I was right. Let's get me.
I got 759.5. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess Darbian must have had like 59.8 or something.
Yeah, the roast beef
Ish.
run.
Ah, is that what it was?
Yeah, the roast beef run
Was the
was the
first sub
first
8 roast beef?
roast
I
beef.
didn't.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
It is. It's perfect.
Yeah. Later that year, I guess I got tied record in SMB 190%. That's when I
So
did
that was the 8-3
the 3
save.
flag pull glitch
8-7-8. Yeah.
456. Yeah. So a year or like 11 months or so after flag pull glitch was found, I had a run with 3 flag pull glitches in it. Not bad.
Like all of them.
Yep, all
That's
of
all of them.
them. Not 8-1, I guess.
Well, we don't count that. We're too early.
I don't even have that
I
now,
don't
so
I don't even think stuck in a plate. That wasn't a thing yet, so we can't even count it.
yeah.
Back then it just didn't save time because of frame rules.
Right. So yeah, it is funny for how long we was just like, well, in the task there's like a frame rule here, but people told me that we probably couldn't get it, so I guess we
Mm.
can't. Like that's how things were. It was ridiculous.
I remember seeing a clip of Darby, and I don't know when it would have been, but I think he map pulled 8-1 at PG, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
now it's not going to save time," and it didn't. And he's
yeah.
like, "But let's see."
Right.
So yeah, that's just what 8.1 was.
Funny. I guess late 2017, I must have gotten back into SMB on Warpless and like learned Fireflower strats because January 2018, I got 1902. Bowser, let me get the 1902, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were you ahead of Andrew G by like a what was it, a frame rule, right?
Yeah.
Because I know Andrew G
Or
like blundered 8.4 pretty bad, so I don't know how much time he lost.
yeah. I knew like even if I got hit, I would still get it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you beat it by like 1.5 seconds.
yep. And then the next month, no, 2 weeks later. Oh, yeah, I must. Okay, what was AGDQ 2018?
I wasn't there. I know
Uh,
Darbian ran Princess Rescue. That was when he got sick.
oh.
I'm pretty yeah. Or
Did I run something?
I don't know. I'm not you. um,
Man. Well, I'm just seeing a bunch of records right after AGDQ 2018. And I remember going to a certain GDQ and then for some reason during that GDQ, I just had this like power up where I was like, dude, I could just be so much better. There's so much that's just in my brain holding me back.
mhm.
Um like I would die in 8-1 all the time. Like, you get a world record pace around to world 8 and then I would just lose it in 8-1. And something clicked and I was just like I could just like not lose it in 8-1. What if it was possible that like basically every run I just had to tell like it was possible to actually get past 8-1 most of the time. And then yeah. So I don't know. Something changed and I was just like I like could finish runs. It's possible.
You could just
So,
game.
yeah. Instead of like having this secret part in your brain that's like doubting like I
Mhm.
haven't put in the work yet. This run can't be the run or like other people are better. I don't know. So it just like changed. So, yeah. End of January, I got Warpless. Like 2 weeks later, I got SMB1 any percent, 456.4.
The fast
Um,
excel.
yeah, right.
I remember you like popping off at how good your 8.4 was.
Yeah, is
Oh,
that when I was like, it's like some embarrassing sound came out of me?
oh yeah, yeah. You're right. It's funny. I want to mention it that I think your 1902 Warpless record was the first world record I ever saw live.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that
Let's
funny
go.
with how events turned out later?
Yeah, like you got into it through like Mega Man, but then your first stream was like some West, and then you like
hmm
saw Warpless, and then you are Warpless.
I am more. I am more. It was the 2018 was the first like race like the Warpless tournament that Rupert had that I joined. That's why I learned it.
Ah, I see.
You know, the one where all the Japanese runners won because they're so good at running Warpless.
Oh yeah,
It's like Kaku and
right.
London, I think, were the top two.
Interesting. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually, there's some time period in here where I feel like I was better at speedrunning than I am now. It's kind of weird. It's probably just because I like haven't gotten a PB or record in like a long time. But
Well, you also worry about content now, being a YouTuber and all.
that's true. You would think that it would let me focus on speedruns more, but
I don't think it would.
I guess it kind of doesn't.
No, you have to worry
Uh,
about video production, editing, more challenge based
well,
stuff.
before I had to worry about like school and work,
Mm,
so I don't know. It was like
maybe.
I would try and get that stuff done just so I could like stream, but now it's like my stream itself is pulled in different directions, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, I had like really good mindset then, and I like just started clutching out a ton of records. Like 2018, 2019, there's just like so many records.
Hmm.
Um, in SMB1, lost levels. Um, but what was I gonna say? I don't remember, man.
Hmm. Must not have been important.
I guess.
Well, you were talking about how your mind just clicked. Everything
Yeah,
made sense. I don't know. That helps.
there was like something specific, but
Hmm. Oh well.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
any percent mid beat Darbian by a few frames thanks to fast Excel.
yeah. Then like a week and a half later, I got minus world record
Was that 232?
233.
Okay, so that came later.
Yeah, and then I guess I was going for the leaderboard sweep.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of fun. In in my world record timeline, I have the five SMB1 categories in a row.
Hmm.
I think Darbian improved any percent in between here. Um, yeah, I was like trying to get the leaderboard sweep. To this day, I'm pretty sure still just like Andrew G, like old runs. Like he
Mm-hmm.
probably has a minus world ending. Does he?
He was the first one to do the 1-2 clip in minus world ending.
Oh, okay.
So
But
he has a record with that. I don't know about like super early minus world.
yeah, in my brain, I was like trying to think who's all swept the leaderboard first place in all of them. Like, of course, Darbian and me, and I'm like Andrew G. I'm sure, but
I got 4 out of
it,
5. That pesky any percent.
right, yeah. So yeah, I was going for the sweep. So in February, no, end of January, Warpless. Mid February, any percent. Late February, minus world ending. April, All Stars, any percent. The first sub five,
That was a grind,
which,
I remember, because that
yeah,
was super hard.
I'm still like really happy with that. Like getting the first sub five, and that's really cool.
No, yeah, that especially since you didn't do the 1-2 clip, that saves like a bunch of time in that version since you don't have to like load the warp zone.
Yeah, with the strats I was going for, it was like
Near perfect.
I had to nail it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, it was like near
So
perfect.
yeah, and then All Stars Warpless May after that, and then maybe someone beat minus world ending because then in August I have another minus world ending, and then in September I have two on the same day. What's going on here?
Mm, I wonder what that is.
Yeah. Uh, it's probably a good thing that on September 24th, 2018, I tied the SMB1 any percent record. Let's see. At the time, it was yeah. This was basically. Wait, what did my .8 that tied Darby in? I guess back then we weren't doing 4-2 clip.
Point 0.8. You mean the 456.8 that you tied?
Yeah.
You did 1141 and 83, but lost BBG frame rule. So
Okay.
like no Blaze It's yet, I
Oh,
guess.
right. So then mid 456,
Mid was Blaze It introduction,
blaze it, but no 8-3.
correct? Yep. And then low was 8-3,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
yep.
So yeah, I tied some West, and then if I had beaten him, I'm not sure I would have kept doing attempts that day. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. But because I tied, I was like, well, we have some more
You
time.
tied for like the fourth time.
Yeah, I had tied the record 3 times, I
3.
think.
Okay.
457.24, 456.87, and 456.24.
Mm.
And then untied 4 times, which is 0.19, 0.46, 0.91, 0.64,
Or
whatever my PB.
maybe we're getting ahead, but yep,
Yeah.
the
So
numbers check
anyway,
out.
practiced 1-2 clip, which I still don't like tricks with one frames. I need to just get better at them, or I need to try and fix that controller that Mav made because I was so good at one frames on that.
Mm.
Man. But anyway, I'm just like not that good at them. But in 1-2, there's a trick. Oh, one hand.
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
you skipped over
SGDQ.
2018.
G-Bads, you have an amazing memory. Did I run something at
Uh,
AGDQ 2018?
okay, I don't know about that, but I remember SGDQ 2018 well because that's the first one I went to.
Yeah, we did the Warpus race and then I did
Hmm.
one hand, right?
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you about HDQ 2018. I'm pretty sure that's when Darbian did Princess Rescue and was food poisoned or whatever. But
Yeah.
again, I wasn't there, and that was
I
super
just
early into my history, so I don't remember it well.
Yeah, I just if I didn't do a run, I just wonder why I had that brain level up, but
Maybe you saw
maybe
Darbian get sick and was like, "Now's my chance."
I think
I
we
don't
were
think
just
so.
doing a bunch of races or something, and then I just like really wanted to just like had this drive.
Hmm.
Uh
I face revealed early 2018, so wrong. Anyway,
yeah. Okay, so I'll finish talking about the
yeah,
1-2 clip and
you can
stuff.
do the important thing.
So, yeah, got tied record and then said, let's keep playing. And
Hmm.
I practiced a trick that I'm still not very good at comparatively, but I literally in my brain, I, I, dude, I was so good at SMB 190% at that time, especially that day. Like,
Hmm.
I wasn't good at 1-2 clip, but everything else, I remember I was like drilling certain tricks. I'm like, I'm messing up 4-1 a bunch. Practice it. I'm like losing my runs in 4-2 when I get there. Practice it. Got like almost every run that got to 4-2 was moving on.
Hmm.
Um, did your webcam freeze? I don't know.
Nope.
Oh, maybe I just paused.
Oh,
Oh, I just had to. My stream froze.
I
Okay.
see.
Uh, I don't know.
Is Twitch
Anyway,
being weird?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess just my stream is broken. Okay, we'll just whatever. Okay. Yeah, and then I was like clutching 8-1. I'm like, I don't lose runs here anymore. I decided. And then bullet bill glitch, I was like practicing it a bunch. I don't know what my relationship was with coin toss at the time.
Mm.
But then 8-3, I was like 8-3 is the last one I need to get good at. And I like practiced it so much. I was just getting it like every time. I'm like, if I get a run here, I'm gonna get this trick now. So, that day I got a run to 8-3. I nailed it, and then I beat 8-4. And my consistency with 8-4 on record pace also, like, to get the mid 456 record earlier that year, I think I remember I got to 8-4 like 20 something times on record pace and just never closed it out. But once I closed that one out, like something changed, dude. Like,
Anything's possible now.
yeah. Uh, from then on, it usually only took me like two. I think the most I ever took was 4 after that to clutch out an 8-4.
Hmm.
But sometimes even one, right? So and to be fair, it's like it the farther you go, the harder it is to get to 8-4. So it's even more important to like close it out.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I was so good at all the tricks except this 1-2 clip, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm literally like, if I can just hit this one time, I'll just play the rest. Like,
It's that
That could
easy.
happen. And it like seems impossible even now. I'm like, that's so absurd. But you actually can do that if you're as practiced at the tricks as I was. So I just did a few runs, and I think like the fourth run I did, I think I clipped into the pipe, but I didn't get I like messed up the warp zone or something. And then the ninth run,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, most of these attempts I think didn't even like get 1-1 flagpole glitch, or like we didn't save the frame rule or something. Because I
Mm-hmm.
remember I'm like, we got to get out of 1-1 so I can try that thing. Then I get to 1-2, and I get the clip and I save the frame rule, and I'm like, easy enough. I guess we're here already.
You're tied with the
Just like
tasks. Everything's
tied
fine.
with the task, yeah. And then every time, wait, I was gonna say every time I get 1-2, I always get 4-1, but this was the first time, so I don't know.
Blaze it with a
uh,
quote.
yeah, I was just like, I need to get to 4-2 because I always hit 4-2, so I nailed 4-1, and I'm like, I've got this. I still think at like Blaze at 4-2. I mean, maybe not now. I'm probably bad at it now, but at the time, hey, what's up, Blaze it?
See, there he is.
Um, like I'm sure people are better than me now, but for a long time, even I think I was like the best 4-2 player specifically. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
just really good at 4-2, getting the clip, even if like lost some frames, like getting down the pipe fast enough. And I did the warp zone faster than everybody for a long time. Like most people just didn't do like the perfect warp zone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we get to World 8. I'm like, I don't know why I'm in World 8 already, but okay. I get through 8-1. That's what I do these days. I decided. So I get through. And then I'm like, let's just get to the bullet bill. That would be insane in itself. But I get there and I'm like, I'm gonna try and hit this. And there's
Mm-hmm.
a chance I do. And I do. And I'm like, what is going on? This is so stupid. I'm amazing at 8-3 right now. It's my most practiced trick right now. I could hit it. So I
Mm-hmm.
like try as hard as I can and I hit it. And I'm like,
There's
what's
no
going
way
on?
this is happening right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just practiced clutching out 8-4s. All I have to do, like, let's just get through wall jump room, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I like get, dude, when you're on record pace and you like hit the frame perfect jump, your button is, or your thumb is like shaking on the button. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know how I hit it, but like, I guess I did. And I'm trying so hard to make sure it stays down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then you get the wall jump and it's like, this is so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You have some time to spare, so I just at the time I was like experimenting with that different turnaround strat where you like go extra far and get speed on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like went far but not far enough to get speed, so I just like lost time and was like whatever. It's fine. I have the time to spare. So I just still got the 0.91
Which is
and
funny
about
because
455.
yep. I remember this clip of you saying if you like had a slow 8-4 on 455 pace, you just throw it away. Like if the 8-4 was so slow and you didn't do that, and in actuality, you took the point
Wait,
9.
really?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
exists
remember.
somewhere. I'd have to find it, but yeah, I definitely remember it because someone like called you out for it. But
Hmm, I don't remember. Well,
yeah,
certainly
455.
wasn't gonna do that.
No, of course not. But you said you would.
455 with 5 million views.
Hmm.
Let's go.
Is that your most viewed YouTube video still?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
by 3 million views.
Probably. Yeah, makes sense.
I think
And
it's really unfortunate now. I don't even know how many views the current record gets, but they just don't do
yeah,
what
they're
they
not.
used to. It's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like some West got some records and uh they kind of did like Nifski's do where
Mm-hmm.
they get like a few 100,000, but I just wish they would get millions.
Mm-hmm. You know, my three most viewed videos are all Warpless world records. The highest one is 14,000.
Yeah.
So it could be worse. No one cares about Warpless, and it makes me sad.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. In fact, my 1859.00 has more views than 1857. And I think that's a much bigger deal.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, even like yeah, I want to say oh, it just has to be some like significant barrier or
Mm-hmm.
something. But yeah, the first 454, it has 800,000, which is awesome, but
That's
I mean
nowhere
that run
near.
should have 10 million views.
Yeah, like yeah, it's weird. I think speedrunning just is more content focused for the general audience more than just like actual speedrun nowadays. Like all of the popular speedrun streamers are don't really like properly speedrun
Mhm.
because that's not what pulls in the viewers anymore.
Yeah.
So all those viewers are like the people that care about the actual runs and not like the general audience.
Right.
That's how it feels at least.
Yeah, maybe like enough time has passed that you know, if used to be there's a bunch of like boomers who could see the suggested and they're like, "What? What is it even doing? I could do better. I got to watch this or something."
Mm-hmm.
But now maybe they've seen enough of them that they just don't even click on it.
Yeah, like
I
oh,
don't know.
mate. Oh, cool. That time. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the 454.4 or whatever the first one is,
Four.
I hope it gets a lot of views.
I think the
Tied the
first.
task to 8.4.
I think the first mid will either be a .5 or a .6. I don't think
Hmm.
you'll see. I think if you make it to 8-4 tied with the TAS, you're not gonna like go for fast excels or anything. You're just gonna be like, yeah, let's like your 455, you know?
Well, I think they will at least do the turnaround first one.
Maybe. But
That's just kind of like standard
but still
nowadays.
you don't have to. Like you could say you
Yeah.
tied the TAS to 8-4 and almost guarantee it if you didn't do anything stupid. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It
but
depends on
then
what Bowser
again,
frames are like.
you go to that Darby and CNN video or whatever it was, and he's like he mentions this thing where he's like, like maybe I should go all out. Maybe I'll never get another chance like this. Which is like so fascinating to me that he said that because I've almost never thought that way.
Hmm.
It's like yeah, but if I was in that situation, maybe I would think that way.
Mm-hmm.
It I don't know. It's fascinating all the different mindsets you can have.
Mm-hmm. The mind is a complicated place. I've been learning that a lot recently.
Mm.
Mm. But anyway, so first 455, huh? And with that, is
Yeah.
that the first you got like the leaderboard sweep all at the same time with
Yeah,
that, right?
that is
Yeah.
true.
Which is like you're the only person to do that and currently ever do that.
The leaderboard sweep
Yeah. I'm pretty sure well,
or
at the same time. Like
oh, as any percent.
Darbian swept the leaderboard, but oh, did Darbian get it at the same time? I guess it's possible.
He already had I figure like minus world or all stars would have been his last one. I don't know.
Yeah, I just mean the same time. I know Darbian swept the board. Um, but I just remember your tweet of all of your first place in all of the main categories after
Hmm.
455. So that's why I know you've had them at the same time, which is hmm. I know I've had 3 of the same time and then I've had 4 out of 5, but any percent's too hard for me apparently. So not quite there, but pretty close. But you had not only the sweep, but at one point in time, which I don't think anyone else can say that right now. Unless Darbian did, I don't know. But
Oh, he had all five at the same time. Yeah.
oh, he has. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he did or not. Like
Okay. I thought you meant like got any percent to do like as the fifth one is what
oh
you
no
were
no no
saying.
no no, just all 5 at the same time
Yeah, I'm
because
pretty sure Darbian did that.
yeah, that would have been before my time, so I don't know. I just remember your tweet, so I know for a fact you did.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
okay.
like Andrew G also, if he did Minus World way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just like assume he probably did, but also it was kind of like by default. There
Yeah,
wasn't like
maybe.
really a leaderboard, so
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, one of very few people to do that, I guess.
yeah.
So,
Yep, yep.
so 2018 was a big year.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy looking back.
Yeah, what'd you even do after that? Because that was like the end all. That's when you
Oh,
did 2J Warpless the first time, actually, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
After I got 455, then I discovered my one true love, 2J Warpless. And we've kind of been there ever since. Almost every record since then is just 2J Warpless, the
Mm-hmm.
occasional Billy Hatcher, the 2J 80% grind in 2020, and that's about it. Well, whoops, I forgot the sub 19 grind.
Oh, yeah, no one here knows about that.
Right.
Hmm. So, that in April, well, I guess in May of 2019, that idiot that saw your that first world record live in 2018, the 1902, kind of beat your record. Mm. I don't know if you like that or not, but
Yeah, it was fine.
no, I mean because you immediately just destroyed it.
Oh, yeah, that's because
Yeah, no.
I was about to come back for the sub 19
You know,
anyway.
actually, you know what you did?
What's
Remember
that?
how I only ran like small fire warpless? I had like a 1910 small fire warpless record,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like going for OX, and then I forget what it was, but we had some like final of a tournament race, and you got 1909 with small fire and beat my small fire record, and then said like this is for not running big fire. First of all, you like crushed my spirits. Second of all, then
Oh,
I switched to big fire and then got world record.
well,
So get wrecked.
my bad. I don't think I understood like social implications back then or
Mhm.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Of course I'm still salty. He stole my 190X small fire from me. How could I not be? But no, then I ran big
oh,
fire and got records, so it's fine
that's
now.
what I was gonna say. Remember when I couldn't remember what I was gonna say, and I was like, I used to be like a better speedrunner than I am now, almost.
Okay, yeah.
It's yeah. There was just that period of time where I feel like I just could do whatever I wanted. Like we would have those warpless races, or there was a GDQ where they would have this like side stream called NES Block,
Mm-hmm.
where they would just stream a bunch of NES runs in a row. They plan their own mini marathon on the side, and me and Takate raced warpless, and I was just like, you could get 1903 in a race, and then I just did. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was probably the start of it. Was that tournament when I was like, you know, we're kind of getting to the point in warpless where you really just can get a run with no mistakes. So
Mm-hmm.
let me just like do that in this finals really quick. And no one had really like routed small fire patterns, I feel like, or I don't know. I just like went and routed them and was like, okay, we can get like 1909. Let's do it. So I did that, and then like GDQ, it was probably that SGDQ is when I did the 1903 in a race, and I just like back then I just like did whatever I wanted. I don't know, it was crazy.
Yeah. The first nest block was HDQ 2019, actually. You ran 2J Warpless, but I don't know if you want to be reminded
And it
about
was
that.
bad.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
before that, I did SMB1 Warpless, and you
Ooh.
commentated it, and I got like a sub 20 with 1 FPG and bullet bill glitch and
Oh,
whatever.
nice. You're really good at that in like marathon settings. It seems like you always do that. You're just like, yeah, I got this time, but always with like flagpole glitches and bullet bill glitch.
Or you could just be me and go to get on a GDQ hotfix and get what 2-3 FPG, 3-3 FPG, 4-4 clip and get a 1905.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, that's an actual good time, not like a 1943 or whatever I got in S block.
Oh, yeah.
Like my start button doesn't like register start presses very well, so I like started late by a couple frame rules, so I couldn't use my notes reliably. But after I got 3-3 FPGO, I didn't know my 3-4, so I took 3-4 safe. But then after 4-4 clip, I was like, you know what? I'm like back on my notes despite being behind. So
Right.
then I got a 1905.
Nice.
It was dumb, but yeah, I was like, I could just get a, yeah. I'm now at the point where I could just get like a 190X. I think I could get a 190X on demand if I have the notes
Yeah.
up. Like it's not too
Yeah,
bad.
that's the thing about well, okay, I can't spoil Flibbity Dibbity's tournament,
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah, that's not
I
out yet.
didn't get to prepare as much as I wanted, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever the next one happens, I hope to perform better in Warpless.
Yeah. That next one. Can we talk about it?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, because I've
I don't.
always like not
Is he
talked about
still
it.
here?
Oh, there he is. Great. I can't wait to actually be in it this time. It's funny because the reason I missed the first one is it's now at that event.
Right, that is funny.
The
If it was just at the
prophecy.
event the first time. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
what the hell? No. Yeah, it's funny.
Liberty, how do you are you gonna drive across the country, or how are you getting everything there?
Yeah, it is in Maryland. That's not Denver. That's very not Denver.
Yeah, the video is out in 50 minutes.
Oh, that's today. Well, I
Yeah,
know what I'm watching after this.
that'll be our deadline, man. For this.
Well, we'll see about that. We're only in 2018, 19.
Oh,
um,
don't worry, I got you covered with 2022. I did nothing.
well, okay, fair enough. Um, but yeah, all right. So I was just talking about you crushing my dreams. So
Right. Because I could do whatever I wanted
yeah,
back then, so
you could do
I was
whatever you
like,
wanted,
let's.
including destroy the hopes of a young up and coming runner and
Yeah, I'm
his.
sorry.
No,
Well,
it,
in your
it's
in
just
your
funny now. It's funny now. But back then, what was I? I was young and mentally not fantastic yet,
right.
so I acted differently than I would now.
Well, in your episode 0 I listened to, you said so many things that I was like, I did that? What? So,
I have a good memory, don't worry.
yeah.
I like
I
documenting
remembered
stuff,
giving I
whether
remember
that's
giving
meant to
you
be.
the Dazzle capture card,
Mm-hmm. I
but
still
I didn't
have it.
remember being like, you have to promise to never play on emulator again or whatever.
Well, I gave you my
Uh,
laptop to play on it, and you were like, no.
it was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible, and then you got up, went to your backpack, and gave me. It was like at that same time. I'm pretty sure, at least. At least that's how I like to remember it because it's funny.
Yeah. And then yeah, I didn't know I was like, I'm gonna destroy a small fire. Now you can never play it again or whatever. Like this
It
is
was
for
something
playing
like that.
small fire.
You probably said it as like a passing off joke or whatever, but you
Right?
know, like your intent when you got 1909 wasn't to like make me never play it, but maybe it was just like a passing joke because it was a race between us. So I think it was
Yeah.
like the after commentaries or something. You were like, now you have to play Warpless Big Fire and get like
Which probably
X.
with good intentions. I like knew your
No, it's good
potential and stuff,
intentions. Yes.
but yeah, no, I genuinely like it's hard for me to do do side by side competition sometimes because
Hmm.
I'll like feel guilty for winning. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, well, it like doesn't make sense. Like I shouldn't lose on purpose or like hold back or anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna do the best I can, right, and get 1909. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, there's still that in me where
Well, part of it was I forget exactly when that happened, but right around that time is when GSA became a thing and they tried to do that SMB1
Oh,
tournament that,
dude.
didn't go very well for anyone, but it very much did not go well for me in the finals.
That commentary was pretty rough.
Yeah, I know. And the chat was very rough. That's what I remember.
Yeah, that was the same thing. It's like
Hmm.
I was like doing well and like you'd made some mistakes, I think, and I was like,
Well,
well,
it's the same thing because what you said when we started is like, you know, I could win 7-0. Wouldn't that be funny? And then you did exactly that.
oh yeah. That yeah. Is because yeah. I
Hmm.
was like trying to drum up the stage drama or whatever. There's kind of these like smash salty sweets, and I thought it was like kind of funny
Hmm.
to do fake trash talk or something. But
Yeah. Blaze it. It was like 2018. Uh, when was it? I don't think it was too late into the year, but I was good enough where I made the finals, and I was only running for a year at that point. I had to have been on console by then, so it was after GDQ. Um,
yeah, that's a perfect example, right? Where see, even if I'm like 6-0 ahead, and uh, like I like feel guilty inside, but at the same time, I'm like I like shouldn't lose on purpose,
no,
so I just
yeah,
like kept playing.
well, yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
like you didn't do anything wrong. No one's saying that. It's just I remember it vividly because I was like crapped on for my performance, even though I don't think I did too poorly.
yeah,
Like I was consistent big, like I was doing fire strats and I was consistently getting like 5 OXs, but you were getting like 3 sub 5s in a row. So everyone was like,
right.
why is he doing big fire? Is he trying to lose? So then I started doing small
Yeah,
Mario and I died, and they're like, does this guy even know how to play? Why isn't he doing big fire so he doesn't die? I was like, what do you guys want from me? And then, they made that infamous tweet that was really poorly worded,
yeah,
which also didn't
yeah.
help. That
That
I
was all rough.
I know like a couple years later I like made this whole big thing about GSA. I'm a lot more okay with them now because I really liked Pace, so I'll give them that. And like the LTAs they do now are really cool, but back then they treated me like dog crap. And I don't know.
Yeah,
So I've always had a little bit of a sour taste. Like God, that tweet alone, reading that after everything, and I wasn't on Twitter yet, so I couldn't respond. I like almost just retired on the spot because I'm like,
right.
well, if this is how I'm gonna be treated, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I almost just stopped there. It was a bad time, but 2019 was a little better. I like
Right.
came back from it, but God, yeah, I just remember all of that. Like you were in your element, and then there was just me who happened to be apparently good enough for second place both of these tournaments somehow, despite being fresh, and then
You're
just
just
getting
good.
destroyed. So it's just like rip.
Yeah, there I think there was just like a bigger gap than like I don't know. There was like a bunch of new people getting in because the scene was growing a bunch. And then there was
Hmm.
like a couple top players, you know? And
Yeah,
so
and
it
then the
was
top
like
players wouldn't join tournaments except for you, basically. Andrew G was out. Darby, and that might have been the first time he took a break or something. Yeah, it was a weird time. You were like, okay, I'm not upset about it anymore. Nowadays I think it's
it's okay to
funny.
cry, GTAs. It's okay.
I
You
are,
can.
I did in 2018. We can no, I don't think I did, but no, it's funny now. Like it's just like funny story to me now because it was just funny because you were talking about like being in your element, and I just remember getting destroyed because you were in your element, and I was a noob still.
Right. Yeah.
It's funny.
See, I'd already gone through game overing in the first level of your GDQ run,
You won
so
that run. Shut up.
yeah, but that doesn't mean it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right. So, anyway, giant Sag tangents aside,
Yeah.
2019,
Yeah,
like
I just decided I wanted Sub 19 Warpless. Like it was time to come back. Let's see. I hadn't
it
played
was
Warpless
time to come
since.
back because I joined the
No,
fray.
no, no, no.
No, I know.
I hadn't played Warpless since the beginning of 2018, so it had been a year. I'd
If it
done.
isn't obvious, I'm painting you as a villain because you destroyed me so many times in these few months. No.
Yeah, I'm just your eternal rival.
Yeah. We should fight IRL. No.
Yeah, that like if if I really wanted to be that way, I would have these like Billy Mitchell hidden tapes in like 2J Warpless, and
Billy
I'm just
Mitchell
like,
hidden tapes.
you think you broke the record? Here you go.
It's yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I came back, and again, I was like way better than the last time I'd played Warpless.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I can get 1901, 19 flat. Sub 19 will be hard, but yeah, 1901 like wasn't that hard
Yep.
because
You
I'd
see,
already gotten 1902, and then I had a bunch more
here
experience.
I want to talk about like me during this too because this was our like big rivalry. But I almost got the first 1901. Like like when I got 1902.0, like a week later I got 19 flat. I was a second ahead into 7.4 and missed a jump. But
Oh yeah,
somewhere around this, I made it to 7.4 a second ahead again. Lost 3 frame rules for some reason, so I was tied record pace. And then I had my 8.4 wasn't great, so I had a better 8.4 and I got Lodabu. So I lost a 1901 to Lodabu. So then
man.
dude, me breaking a second barrier took way too long.
Yeah,
It was so
and
sad.
that's how, dude. That's how speedrunning goes a lot of times. It's like it just takes so much effort to get to the point where you think you can go for records, and then like getting your first one or like your first. There's always this like big breakthrough that has to happen, and then suddenly
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, whoa, floodgates are open. I can do things.
Whoa.
Um, yeah.
I
So
I still need to open floodgates, I think. I still take too long to
yeah,
get stuff I go for.
I need to reopen them. So like I said,
Mm.
I like haven't gotten anything in a year.
Yeah,
So
well.
um, it's been a good year
Mm.
IRL though. Maybe we'll get there. Um, yeah. So I got 1901 and 19 flat really fast, like
Mm-hmm.
4 days apart, and then apparently I got D4 Warp. Oh yeah, this is one of the coolest runs I ever did. I'm like, I wasn't even playing D4 Warpless. Why'd I get the record? Because there was just like randomly a race for what
GDQ
like
hotfix.
GDQ
It
hotfix,
was a
like
lost
a
level showcase.
showcase event, and I just raced Picante in D4 Warpless, and yeah, I just got world record, which that's
Mm-hmm.
mostly due to there's just like a lot of time on the table in that category still. Like you could take damage multiple times and still get the record if you played well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but dude, that's still one of the coolest runs. I remember I'm like, I just have to get through like World 1. I think I took damage somewhere in the middle, and I was like, it's fine, I'll recover. And I just kept like doing all these calculations. I'd look at the splits. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I had best possible time back then.
No.
I would be like, I can still save this much time. I can still get record. And like just in the middle of that race, being like, I could get record in this race and trying so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um I like didn't even remember some of the Letter Worlds levels. I'm like, where am I going? But yeah, I did it, and that was crazy. That's like definitely one of my biggest achievements is live race GDQ hotfix getting a world record.
In Warpless D4 of all things.
Yeah, hard category, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yep. So then that's randomly in there, but
Mm-hmm.
I did sub 19 grind. Finally got it after like 4 runs to the last room. It's so
Yeah,
stupid,
it's crazy.
but
I,
yeah,
I I struggled a lot too. I was right there with you. Um,
yeah.
7.4 was like my bad level because of the one jump, but then I came up with a new strat to do the jump, and now it's free. So wish I knew that back then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Dude, that's how it goes. A lot of times you keep losing a run in a certain spot. You just need a new strat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I have a video that's the quest for sub 19, 1859, whatever. That
Mm-hmm.
pretty much tells the whole story. It was great.
Yeah.
Um, Played some Billy Hatcher. Man, what a beautiful video game.
Yeah.
Um, I played that growing up. I remember in 2013 saying, I would love to speedrun Billy Hatcher, and someone I was in a call with actually knew what it was. And
Hmm.
not only that, he was like, I have a friend who runs that. That game's broken. I was like,
Hmm.
what? Like, how could it be? What? Doesn't make sense. And he was like, no, I'm serious, dude. And I think I maybe looked at some runs. I don't think I have it anymore, but I had this old recording of me I tried to learn to speedrun one level just all on my own, and it's like 50 seconds long level and like trying to optimize this stuff, and then I go and I look up the speed run, and this stage is like 8 seconds long.
Hmm.
It's like one of the most, like, the biggest skips in a level. It's like, what? Okay. uh yeah, so anyway, took until 2019, I guess, for me to really get into the game, and I got a 108, and then I got a 107, and then a 106, and that was the last time I had the record in it. I found a lot of that game was fun. It was like a really fun creative outlet. Honestly, whenever I was like kind of bummed out with X, Y, or Z thing in life, I would just like go hard on Billy Hatcher and like try and find new strats and stuff. It was like my outlet. So it was really fun to find new strats, and that game had this whole weird renaissance where I was coming in as like this really experienced runner, and then there was a bunch of like just not as experienced people, or it was like their first game, or I don't know. So it's just kind of weird because they would like look at certain strats and be like, "Oh, like you can't do that," or "It's stupid," and I'm like, "This will totally be in runs," or like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
just like we just have to like understand it better, and then we would, and so yeah, it's fun to contribute a lot to that game. Now, Monkey, like I wanted to get a 103, or like I had this like goal run in my brain, right? As you often do. But a guy named Monkey just destroyed the game. He like basically did it for me. It's not like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I can't compete, but like he just did it for me. So I'm like happy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yep. Um, Dude, Super Mario Bros. Any percent in 455.64.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the speedrunning documentary is really frustrating for me
Oh yeah.
because I did this interview with them at AGDQ 2020, and I described this exact run I was going to go for. I'm like, a point 0.6 is totally possible. And if everything came together, I could probably get like 0.64. And I just described everything I had to do. And I went home, and like that week, I did it. I got
Mm-hmm.
that exact run. It was like so good. And then they just didn't use any footage of me ever. So
Mm-hmm.
that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um yeah. That I had some like crazy IRL stuff going on, and that whole stream I was like kind of down, like, yeah, like it's fine. We're gonna play this game. And then suddenly I just like got world record, and I was like, what happened? How'd that happen today? Normally you think like gotta be in a good mindset, and that
Mm-hmm.
definitely usually helps, but for some reason I just got that day. So that was cool.
Yeah. I don't know why they cut you out completely. It's really dumb.
Yeah, they took out the Mitch Flower Power section, the at my house section. I wouldn't have even cared if if it was weird, like they had the whole Mitch segment and then they had to somehow explain I was there. Who is this guy? That's fine. Like I don't care. But like the AGDQ thing is like really annoying to me.
Yeah.
Uh, it was perfect. Like you could not write it better.
Mm.
Uh, it and I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe they're making your own documentary because they thought it was just so cool.
Well, I asked them for the footage. I'm like, can I just like tell this story myself, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, we'll see. They didn't reply. Probably need to message them again.
Well,
But yeah,
the
anyway,
documents are really good. Yeah. Well.
mid 2020, I got 2J any percent record a few times. That
Mm-hmm.
was a really fun push because I worked together with my good friend Takate.
Mm-hmm.
He, I had been out of the game for like a couple years or something. Like I hadn't played 2J any percent in a while, and he literally wrote this document for me and was like, "Here's exactly what you need to do to get 755," and just like caught me all the way up, and
Mm-hmm.
it was awesome. So we like worked together to push really hard and like just rooted for each other. I got 756.01 one frame away. I
Don't
like
forget.
celebrated. I'm like, that's it. I'm pretty sure, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't.
Bad
And
news.
then, right,
Bad news.
bad news. Cosmic broke a record. Um, yeah, but then I did get it. 755.7. I planned on going further. Uh, I'd been on 754 pace to the last room before, for sure. My PB is 755.3. And I wanted to get 53 at least. But again, this is just like the monkey thing in Billy Hatcher. Nifsky just did it for me, like and farther. So I'm like, cool, you did it, good job. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
which, dude, I just want to take a second and like, there's like green Squeegee in Mario 64 16 star,
Mm-hmm.
like the most run speed run of like all time, and the gap between first and second is 15 seconds. It is
Yeah.
wild.
Yes.
Like huge gap, just insane.
You know what's
Um,
funny? Because you were just talking about like your interview, how you
mhm,
explained this run you wanted to get. When I was at Pace, made a tweet about it, but I was in a car with Sweetie and he was talking about how he wanted to someday get those perfect run of like 1436.
right.
There it is.
Yeah, and he just like I accidentally saved an extra frame on wall jump. He accidentally saved an extra second.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. But what was I talking about?
I don't know. But
Uh,
754 is cursed. I've had like 20 run state for and still don't have one.
yeah,
754
wild
sucks.
game.
Ugh.
But yeah, Nifsky in 2J any percent is a really cool gap. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
there. There's not even a 52, but he has a 51. Right? He's like 751, 753.
Yeah,
Like
but there's a few
really
people that
impressive.
can get a 752. They just haven't grinded it yet. Like, it's not
Yeah.
out of reach or anything.
Well, I am a big proponent that like anyone can get any time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that's really cool.
It is a
Like,
interesting
def-
gap, yeah.
um. Okay. So that brings us to 2021 when I got
Well,
really into D4 Warpless. Oh, go
I
ahead.
want to mention because we were at, well, SGDQ 2020 online because this is obviously when COVID struck. And we happened to be wearing the same shirt from our run at that event, which is funny.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely not wearing the same shirt
Oh,
today.
sorry. Let me. Yeah, that's weird. Well, I have to bring it up because at least it makes sense.
There you go.
It was these
We're
shirts were made
Mario
for us.
Bros.
All we need is Supersonic 2.
That's true.
Yeah, so.
That's true. And yeah, it's
Mhm.
my favorite shirt, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I probably is my favorite, honestly. So, yeah. I mean, it was made for me and two other people, but for me. So I have to like it.
Yeah, hopefully the next in-person GDQ I go to, probably AGDQ 2021. Hopefully you can go to that and we can do an in-person run. That'd be cool.
The next AGDQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, to God, that's 2024. Ugh, time.
What'd I say, 21? I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe. I wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking, like, oh God, it's gonna be 2024 next year. Ow. Anyway, we could,
D4 Warpless.
yeah, D4 Warpless.
The sub 36. The 35, man.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse
Crazy how long that took. Like for anyone to get a 35.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Because Darbian was on pace for it.
Yeah, all the way back then.
But he died in D3 because D3, but also because he didn't jump.
Yeah. And he was like barely on pace, right?
Barely, so sure, but
it maybe would have been like 36:01, but it could have been for sure.
It could have been. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is
yeah. It's one of those like ahead of its time runs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if he had gotten 35, then other people like me, I also would have just like gotten a lower time faster because that's just like how it works, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like such a weird barrier thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally got that in March. I ran that the end of 2020 all the way to March 2021. And I actually kept running it, but wait a second.
Hmm?
We totally skipped over in 2020 the mainline Mario marathon.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about you like becoming a YouTuber.
That's true. That
is
also
that
happened
important?
in 2020.
Like, maybe it's not important that you're, I don't know, a YouTuber now, like fairly popular.
Yeah. So basically, I would get some records, right? 455 got lots of millions of views, and I'd post PBs, and they'd get some views and subscribers. Every now and then, I'd have kind of a more tailored, better video. Not really. So all of them were just like highlights from a run. Like, oh, look at this warpless run that I wall jumped out of a pit to save it. Whoa, I did a crazy Bowser kill. Or I would have a different one that was like, whoa, back to back, almost world record runs. Those would like get more views than they deserved, honestly. But yeah, and then I was in summoning salt videos, and a little video came along by a channel called Badaboon, and it was kind of a disgrace to humanity. But
yes,
dude, Carl Jobs made a video about it, and I got a lot of subscribers. That's cool. I made a parody of it, and it got a ton of views. So I'm glad it happened. But anyway, yeah, I just like slowly grew over 8 years or something, 20,000 subscribers, and then I was like, I actually, a lot of people don't know this, but in November 2019, I went to a run. GSA Legends, I think it was called.
Yeah, the summit.
It's basically,
at the summit, Smash Summit building. Yeah.
Which rest in peace.
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Summit just
big
died. But yeah, we went there. It was like Speedrun Summit, and I mean, not really, but
yeah,
it was a lot of fun, cool environment, and got to know some people better. Simply Small Ant. We were just kind of like talking about YouTube and kind of how to do it and make it work and stuff, and it just made me think like maybe I should try harder to go for it or just see what I could do. And like 2020, obviously we all got stuck inside anyway, so I would like do some school and some work and then just make a YouTube video. And yeah, I needed an editor to like really start. I didn't know how to edit. So I tweet out that I needed one. And then Bismuth just DMs me like eyes emoji, and I'm like, wow, I never considered. He already made the journey to 1859, and super cool guy. So it's like, I guess
his own YouTube channel with a little bit of attention,
Yeah,
he makes okay videos at least.
Right, the Bismuth videos too also contributed a lot to my earlier subscribers and stuff. So yeah, he starts editing things for me. I had a bunch of ideas. So right up front, a lot of my ideas were just like years in the making. Like I've wanted to do this. So they were all like really good ideas and good content, even though I wasn't good at making the content, but the ideas carried it, honestly. And yeah, it mostly must have been because of COVID or something, but like channel grew so fast. It was crazy.
Yep.
Um, so I went from 20,000 to 100,000 that year. And man, October and November, like that's when Mario 35 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Bismuth was making one video a year, or one video a year for me.
Mm.
He's making one video a week for me. And I was like, so with this game, do you want to like make a video every day? Go super hard for a couple months. And he was down. So yeah, I would like work and then work on a YouTube video every day. It was like programming job, YouTube video. And it was like a wild October and November, but worked super hard and good things came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Mario 35, rest in peace. Still don't know why they got rid of that. So you brought it up, but we needed to backtrack to talk about YouTube. Mainline Mario Marathon?
Oh yeah. I I don't actually remember if I just was motivated by some like 3D Zelda challenges or what, but I was like, dude, you could beat all of them in one day. You totally could. And I've done Mario Hour. I know 3D Land. I learned 3D World for a 12-hour challenge. So I already had like half the games out of the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a bunch of them were easy. Like I didn't even learn New Super Mario Bros. U.
Mm-hmm.
I literally like took a break before the game and like I like looked up a video to see where the warps were.
If it works.
Um yeah, so there's some leeway there for sure, but I had to work to learn like Galaxy 1 and 2. That's honestly the entire reason that I like probably won't do it again is just cuz like half the marathon is just Galaxy games and they're the ones I want to do the least. So
Oh, but Galaxy's
if it
fun.
was if it was just Galaxy 1, like I really wouldn't mind, but I just don't want to have to play so much Galaxy 2 so I can save like half an hour instead of putting in a bunch of fun optimization time into like Mario Land 2 or something and then saving 1 minute, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that it is significant.
yeah. So, yeah, beat 18 Mario games in one day. My biggest stream ever. Like, there's no way I'll beat it. But a ton of work went into it. There was like months of preparation learning the games, and then I had a shirt made. I had like this layout and design made for it. Um, I made this form. Well, actually, Scazzy made the form where you could predict what time I was gonna get, and like the
Mm-hmm.
closest person I like gave something away to. I made the whole schedule. Like I was like up half the night beforehand, just like getting stuff in place, and um, there's like a ton of work. But back then, front page on Twitch also worked differently. It was like a lot easier to get. Now you
Mm.
have to have like a bunch of subscribers to get on the front page, and it's
Well,
kind of
that's
annoying.
yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. Um, but back then I was able to get a front page slot, and dude, it was a 1 hour time block, and so and I made a Reddit post that like got a decent amount of traction too. So all of this for this like one big event that like no one had really ever done specifically that before. So it was just like didn't matter how good it was as long as I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's like thousands of people there, and at the end of the front page time slot, you know that's the peak. There's
Mm-hmm.
like 20,000 viewers. It's insane. Um, I don't know how many of those people are real because you know as soon as I get taken off front page, it drops by like 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, or more. I think average throughout the whole thing was like 1,500 to 2,000.
That's a lot for 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I stayed up the entire night watching it, I remember.
Oh wow.
I might have dozed off a little bit for uh new Super U,
Oh good.
which I think is understandable, but I think other
Yeah.
than that,
I just think
saw it
it's
all.
cool that most every Mario game they put in a way to beat it really fast, right? Ever
Mm-hmm.
since the first one, they're like, we want you to have warp so you can go to the harder levels early if you want to. And ever since then, like New Super Mario Bros., all of them, they just have like warp halfway, warp to the end. Like so
Mm-hmm.
many Mario games follow that pattern. So it's just cool that you can just beat them that fast if you want. You don't even have to be this top speedrunner. Like anyone can go beat Mario World in like 15 minutes if they want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. So yeah,
It's pretty cool. But you did just clutch the sub 24 hour too for it all.
yeah. I knew the most important was Galaxy 2, and so it's hard when you play that long in that many games to maintain focus,
Mm-hmm.
but I put like everything I had into that game. So I got like a big PB in it, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do good. And I'd like scheduled out enough breaks and buffer that I could see like, okay, I've got enough time and we're all good. I did Odyssey, and I just needed like sub 140 or something, like not even something good. I think I got like 128. I don't.
Yep. Yeah, that was a really cool stream. And you've kept that layout ever since too. The one
Yeah,
you
I
had made for it.
think it's pretty good. Shoutouts to Chiron
Mm-hmm.
who made that.
And the shirt too, right?
Yeah.
I never bought that shirt. I should have. I regret it still. I'm sure.
Oh,
Is it
you
still
can buy
available?
it again now.
Yeah. Uh.
It wasn't for a long time, but
Okay.
it
That's fine.
actually got taken down for copyright. But
Okay.
then I just like I have a different store now, and I think it should be fine because it's all original hand drawn art. But what do I know?
Who knows?
I mean, like the Yeti sells all sorts of stuff. So
Nintendo will just cease and desist if they want to.
yeah,
So
I mean, like actually, you can't go buy it right now.
yeah, never mind. No. All right. I didn't
Or
need
my
it anyway.
NES Gauntlet shirt is so cool. Also,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you got some cool merch out there. Um, so what are we, 2021 now? We said everything about 2020.
yeah. Well, I did D4 Warpless in 2021. That was
Yeah,
mostly
you
it.
did talk about that.
At the end, I did D4 any percent, which I'm gonna come back to sometime this year. I want to save like several seconds. And Kriller helped me find a setup for the like small Mario clip in B4, which will be cool.
Oh.
And yeah,
Huh.
um, and it only works on all stars because
Oh, well, never mind.
yeah, because like the lava pit is like narrower, so you can actually keep full speed to jump up there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Then 2020. Uh. Yeah. Once I got done with D4, I just did 2J Warpless in the end of 2021 and beginning of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Uh. My record in that sat there for so long, like almost 3 years. I was planning to come back. I swear I like plan and then people start playing things like right before I come back somehow. Like I'm genuinely like, I'll play this like that month. And then people start playing it right before and I'm like, I'm not coming back because you like beat me, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
But
You mean like
yeah.
me? Because that's when I started playing it. I got second
Yeah.
place and I was like, okay, time to get record. And then I never got it for a long time because you came back.
It's just true.
You
That's when I
you keep
finished
doing
before
this
any
to me.
percent.
Why do you keep doing this to me?
Well, you had it longer in 2021 than I did, I think. So, or 2022, I mean.
Mm.
So yeah, I improved quickly because again, it's been years. I'm like way better than I used to be. So I got 2134, 2129, 2123. My the day I got 2123, I just like told my girlfriend I'm like I'll probably get a world record tonight. I just think I will. Like I'll just do that. And I did.
Mm.
So I still had that touch back then, I guess, but I don't know what happened in the year following cuz that's my last record and man.
Mm. You've been busy with
Yeah, I
life
guess
and
so.
stuff.
I guess so. Said girlfriend became fiance, and in just a few weeks now will become wife. So that's awesome.
Nice. So, and I mean, these past few years, you've been working hard on YouTube too. And we didn't even talk about the NRG at all.
Oh yeah,
I, I mean, I don't know what all went into that. Or are you allowed to talk about it? Like,
sure. Yeah, I
yeah.
want to make a video called like "What happened to NRG speedrunning?" because
Hmm.
so many people still comment that, and I'm sure if they saw that, they'd be like, "Finally, an answer." But
Yeah, yeah.
if you're not familiar with esports, every esport endeavor is operating at a loss, just like
Hmm.
every single one. It's like you like can't make money with them. It's just impossible. So every single one is just a passionate and or very rich person who's just dumping in a lot of money because they think it's cool, basically. And yeah, so Energy is an esports team. Um, yeah, the guy again, like the guy who owns it also owns like a basketball team. You know, he's just like just a very affluent guy who wanted to do something cool. So he's like, let's make a speedrunning, let's add speedrunning people to Energy. And they just approached me and were like, uh, well, their DM was like, hey, we have a cool project in mind. Can we talk to you? And I was like, oh, sure. And then I get on a call with them and I'm like, they just start explaining what they want to do. And I'm just like, are they like inviting me to be on org, like a team? Like, what? I did not expect this. But
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, dude. Um, it's just a contracted position where I would film like X amount of videos with them a month
Hmm.
for contracted amount of pay. So yeah, we had 1 year contract, except Easy Speezy had 6 months. So at 6 months, he like I don't know I don't know if I assume like negotiations. He just like didn't get an amount he wanted or whatever. It like didn't work for him, so he didn't re-sign with them, or they didn't offer. I don't know,
Hmm.
but then after 1 year, the rest of us they were just like, yeah, sorry guys, we're not gonna re-sign anybody. Which again, this makes sense because I already felt like I was surprised by the amount that they offered me. And then I don't know if the other people had the same amount, but like in that time, I mean, Easy Speezy grew an insane amount, but like
Hmm.
also Point Crow grew a lot, Low Curbs grew a lot. And I'm sure the amount you would have to offer Point Crow to stay and keep doing those was like insane. So this is why it's impossible because in order to get a lot of views on something like that, you need to get these personalities that have huge followings. And in order to get them, you have to pay exorbitant sums of money to make it worth their time because they're already making money hand over fist. And then you just like can't afford it.
Hmm.
It's just impossible. But anyway, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed the content. I
Yeah,
mean, they
it
weren't
was
all bangers, but I mean, there were some good ones.
it was a little frustrating for me because they focused a lot more in on just like quips and jokes than on like speedrunning.
Hmm.
And so like sometimes I'd be doing like some sick thing. I'm like, dude, look at that thing I pulled off. And they like wouldn't even make the cut because I just wasn't being funny enough or something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, overall it was fun and it was really interesting to try and figure out how to make content where none of us really played the same games.
Hmm. Yeah. There was a lot of Mario Maker. I remember that.
Yeah, it's because we made a Mario Maker video and it got a ton of views, so we just kept making them.
Hmm. Yeah. Very content minded, the people. But yeah, I remember like their editing people were like interesting. Like that the way they edited it and cut out certain things. Like I noticed that just as I can't even call myself a casual watcher because
Yeah, you noticed
I
because you're not a casual
yeah,
watcher. The other people didn't notice.
yeah, exactly.
They were like, great editing. It's really funny.
Yeah, but it's like uh what about this thing?
Yeah, that's just how it's always gonna go. Like the wider reach you have, the less fine tuned
Mhm.
the like skill of the thing is gonna be usually.
Yeah.
Like in order for it to be broadly reaching, it just like has to be less. Yeah.
Hmm. It's funny now that NRG's done. Now, what is it? CLG has their group of 4 people
They
doing.
came before actually.
Well,
Um
I knew they signed people before, but they weren't doing YouTube content like they just started doing.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. Like Golden Guardians is a like well, they're an org, but they have melee players and they do kind of a similar thing.
Hmm.
Um and that that's like one approach that people try and take to try and make the esport org profitable, but I promise they're all just hemorrhaging tons of
Oh yeah.
money.
No, obviously. I I'm
It's
sure they can
funny.
get a ton of sponsors, but I mean, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, the people that make esports orgs for fun, that have a bunch of money, they are always open that I am losing all my money on this.
Yeah,
Well, not all of it. Otherwise, they couldn't
which
keep it
is
open. But
unfortunate.
yeah,
But GTA, it's video games are in the Olympics now.
shut up. That doesn't count.
You know,
You can't
what-
call chess a video game. Chess should just be in the
it's not
Olympics,
chess.
honestly. Chess is one of the video games in their Olympic thing.
Oh, well,
Like
that's not what I was
chess.com.
referring to.
Oh, what are you talking about then?
I'm talking about like random garbage mobile games that they
No,
selected to
yeah,
be in the Olympics.
correct. One of the random mobile games is chess.com.
Well, no.
It's not a random mobile game, but it's part of the same group, is what I mean.
Separate it from chess.
I'm saying chess should be good enough to be separated from all those mobile game. This is what I'm saying. Like,
I agree
chess
with
should
you.
just be in there normally, not through all this garbage mobile crap.
Yeah,
That's the point I'm trying to make.
we agree. We
Okay.
agree so much that I wasn't even referring to chess when I said video games.
Yeah. No, I just know what you were talking about because I remember seeing the list of games they chose. Chess is just one of them for some reason. But yeah, it's like dumb archery mobile game, dumb what, baseball switch
Yeah,
game. Like, what are they
apparently, like
doing?
some of them are kind of popular in Japan or something, but yeah, it's just
Whatever. No.
I when I heard I was like, oh cool, they have Fortnite, they might have like League or Dota or
Mm-hmm.
something,
Like
but
esports, but none of that.
yeah,
But yeah,
no, it's crazy.
like the only thing that anyone would care about is chess, and it should not be grouped with garbage mobile games.
Yeah,
That is not fair. Um,
but yeah, it's pretty much me. It's pretty much what I've been up
no,
to.
that's your
Uh,
history.
I'm gonna try and get a good time in 2J Warpless finally, hopefully. In my brain, I'm like 1 month from now I'll be playing something else. Hopefully, it's not 1 year from now like it has been.
Hmm.
Um,
I've been
yeah,
stuck on it just as long. I'm not
right.
satisfied yet either.
Yeah, so gotta go back to SMB1 Warpless. Gotta do D4 any percent. Gotta Mario 3D Land for the first time in 7 years or something.
Mhm.
Um, there's something else. I don't remember. Mario or I want to do like damageless Battletoads.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Somewhere years down the road, I'll get a versus Super Mario Brothers machine and stream high score on the cabinet. That'll be sick.
Yeah. Do you got room for it now? Now that you have new house and all?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, I'll move in 2 years and then I'll get it.
Mm. Oh, this isn't like a permanent place.
No,
Oh, I see.
probably
So,
be here 2 years, but I don't know. Who is to say?
who's to say? You know, this is a world premiere of the new Cosmic background. You'll see the white wall of blank nothingness, at least for now.
True.
Huge. Well, I guess we can do questions now if people want to ask them. I'll try to come up with some to fill the air. Um,
Ask away.
yes.
I saw someone at the very beginning asked, "How did you come up with the name Cosmic?"
Mm,
And most of the time I skirt around it a little bit, but I'll be totally straight up with you. You get the exclusive scoop.
all right.
There's a university near me called BYU, and their mascot is a. I didn't go there, just for the record, but whatever, it's not important.
Mm-hmm.
Their mascot is a cougar named Cosmo, and I just thought it was a cool name.
Mm,
So I made my name Cosmic D because my name starts with a D, and it was with I was this was like Club Penguin days, right?
Mm.
So it was like Cosmic with a C, space capital D, and then I don't know. At some point, I think I was playing Dofus or something, and I just like uh yeah, I like changed it to a K. It was like Cosmic D and then like 12. That's just like my number, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then down the road, managed to chop off those last three characters, thankfully. But yeah, it was not like my favorite username because I see actually so many other people who are named Cosmic whatever. There's even a Smash Ultimate player who their name's literally Cosmic with a K, exactly the same.
Mm.
And my first name in real life is already common enough. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want like my own selected username to also have all these imposters out there.
I
Just
have a
kidding.
more common name than you. I have the most common name for many years,
Yeah.
at least. And a lot of people like putting Ace in their name too, so
Hmm.
I kind of get it, but yours is a little bit more common username esque at least.
Yeah. So if I could go back and pick something else, I would, but that's how it goes. Usually you're like 12 and
Do you know what you would pick if you could?
I have no idea. But I
It's
would come
hard.
up with some word that didn't sound like you're trying too hard or just
Mm-hmm.
I'm quirky because I'm weird and random.
Mm.
But you know, like I think like Worcester, that's like a really cool like is that a real thing? I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
like usernames or like Plup, a melee player.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's just a word. It doesn't sound stupid, but it's like its own thing. No one else is ever gonna be that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to think of different usernames once you've made one. I made my username to for an Xbox when I first got my Xbox and just never changed it ever because I couldn't.
Mm,
So,
gotcha. Yeah. Do I have any plans for Mario? Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of hard because there's just like so much happening. I'm like moving in and like I'm getting married in a month and whatever. It might be May by the time I play Mario again. I don't know for sure, but um, I just need to get a better run with what I'm already doing. I need to get a lot better at 1 star. I don't know. I do want to maybe do like a 2U any percent grind, get like a 840 or like just get a lot
ooh.
better at that. That would help a lot too.
Yeah, when I was talking with Haxer, he recently got NES Trilogy 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, really
Um,
good run.
because well, because his SMB2U was so good. Like he said, that's the only game that matters in that run. So, and you know
Get no
that,
hands and then 2U
yeah.
is the real run.
Well, for him, SMB3 is free. So, but yeah, no hands.
Nice.
But like that's half of Mario Hour right there. I mean,
Yeah.
well, it's because SMB3 is mainly auto scrollers, so you just you do what you can
For
in the
me,
most you
it's
can.
well, 2U is the hardest, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really bad at 3. I need to get better.
Mm-hmm. But it's just like you're already good at 1 and 2J, so like 2U is like the big one, and then
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't really know how hard World is consistent wise. I haven't run it enough. And then Mario 64 is
It's
Mario
not hard.
64.
Like the cloud fight is hard,
Mm-hmm.
especially depending on what strategy you go for. But most other things like you can be really consistent. Um,
Okay.
you know,
Um.
comparatively.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
And
get
the
it.
top level, every game's hard and blah blah.
Of course. Except
But 2U is the
for
hardest Mario.
yeah. Yeah, I'll argue 2U is harder than 2J any day because it's
Yeah.
true. 2J gives you unlimited continues. You know what doesn't 2U?
Yeah, and it's just impossible to like move your character properly. Every time you release B or A, it just destroys you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, momentum stops with the let go of a B press. Your jump stops at the let go of an A.
yeah.
It is interesting. You fall faster if you don't hold A, at least with Luigi too.
That's also true for Mario World, but it's more like a strategy to keep holding, like let go and
Hmm.
repress it sometimes than it is hold
Yeah.
mechanic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are there games ran that we didn't talk about at all?
Oh
Like, it
yeah,
does just have to be. Yeah.
Um, Space chimps.
Oh, we should talk about space chimps.
Well, you see, there was a, marathon called the Monkey Marathon, and this was in 2013,
Hmm.
maybe, when it was actually like GDQs were growing, and so there was a lot of like online marathons that were growing at the time. Um, yeah, so Monkey Marathon was happening, and they asked me if I wanted to run DK64, and I was like, yeah, sure, this is awesome. And
Perfect.
then they came back and they're like, sorry, we want Ring Rush to do it. We already asked him and he said no, but I guess he was joking,
What?
which is hilarious. Like, you just have to know Ring Rush. It's not really like excusable. He should have made it clear, but um, he's a funny guy. But anyway, they're like, we'll still offer you a spot if you have any other monkey game. I was like, I have a game called Space Chimps. I haven't even played through yet, but let's do it. So I found some pretty cool skips in that actually, and but it's really bad. I've tried to go back to learn the game so I could like submit it to a GDQ or something,
Hmm.
and I don't get more than like half an hour in. I'm like, I don't want to play it anymore.
Fair
And
enough.
also, some other totally independent person found a bunch of their own skips and like destroyed me, but they're also on like PlayStation version and it has like some exclusive tricks in it.
Hmm.
Um, and then on the Wii, there's like a cutscene you can skip that you can't on the other version. It's so weird, but yeah. I also in that game found a way to get a 100% completion file in like 2 minutes.
Hmm.
You just like select the last level and then back out and then start a new file and it like loads into the last level or something. I don't know, but kind of funny random glitch I found.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then, of course, the everyone's favorite alien teacher
Oh,
game.
dude,
We need to
my
talk about my
teacher is an
teacher's game.
alien.
Yes.
That's just a great game. I still need to. I need to make a video out of my first playthrough of that game because it's just, or not my first, but I did like a full playthrough stream
Hmm.
as an adult. You gotta make the guy eat the mothball sandwich. Am I right?
What?
You gotta,
I just
and you
remember
gotta
you and
shoot the screws off of the.
oh that yeah. No, I actually remember what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
I remember
the
you
impossible
running it.
quiz,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
That has like way more views than it should, but also it's copyright claimed.
Hmm.
Anyway, uh,
The
yeah.
impossible
So
quiz.
what else? I don't. What else have I ran? I did the NES Gauntlet. Hello.
Oh yeah. You did.
um, yeah. So the mainline Mario Marathon 2020. I
Yes.
guess it was right.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, it must have been 2019. I did a stream where people could like. I just wanted to try and beat some of the hardest NES games and see how many I could beat in that day because I hadn't
Hmm.
played them. Castlevania, Contra, Battletoads, um, Ninja Turtles, Ninja Gaiden, Ghosts and Goblins.
Hmm.
So yeah, I beat like four of them, and people could vote which one I did next. Thankfully, they didn't pick Battletoads because that's all I would have played.
Hmm.
Like a couple, like a week or two later, I did Battletoads and took like 17 hours to beat it, or 14 hours. I don't know. Anyway, um, but that's actually good. That's the crazy thing. um, yeah. So then I wanted to do a whole NES Gauntlet, like playing other hard games I hadn't played yet. Shoutouts to some really cool ones like Blaster Master, Zelda 2, Metroid, Kid Icarus. Um, Let me look at my list. I want to like. share my favorites. Um,
Oh yeah, that was all in one sitting.
Battletoads
Jeez.
is just the greatest game ever.
Hmm.
Super C is pretty good. Castlevania 2 is really good.
Mm,
What I learned is that a lot of opinions people have about games. Oh, Rygar is great also.
mm,
People just regurgitate what they hear YouTubers say.
mm,
Um, so here, I'm going to tell you what to believe now.
mm. As a
But
YouTuber,
yeah, what you should do is play the game and make up your own mind. But
true.
don't like listen. Some of my favorite games were ones people were like, "This is garbage." Like Castlevania 2 is great. I don't even like shoot 'em ups or shooter like whatever the genre is. The Gradius and like scroll sideways and shoot
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But um, Silver Surfer, I don't even like that genre, and I thought that game was fun.
Mm.
That's crazy, man.
The music in that game is so good.
Yeah, people think it's like so bad, but I think it's
I think it's
good.
just hard. You know what it is? Mad 'cause bad. That's what it is.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Just
Then you
like
did the
actually play the games.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
then you
did.
did
I
like the
did.
real one
Yeah, it
later.
was like 20 games
Mm-hmm.
in one day, and I was like sick, like literally, I was unwell, and
Mm-hmm.
it got worse throughout the stream. Um, Speaking of Silver Surfer, I like held my hand in the same position. I really didn't want to mess up, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
like so focused on not getting a game over and stuff that I was like my hand was in the same position, like mashing for 15 minutes or something, and then like suddenly I was like, what is happening? Like it's like cramping up or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like something is wrong with my hand. So I had to like take a break and just chill and I don't know. I ended up like I can't remember. I might have had to like use level select or something,
Mm.
but yeah, like it's fine. Um, let's see.
You got a shirt out of it.
Ooh, that shirt's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, man. The NES Gauntlet was really cool. Holy Diver, the hardest game, the
Mm.
hardest NES game that I've played at least. I specifically also chose games I thought would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would look up some of them, and if I was like, this just isn't, I'm just not gonna do this one. So I picked like my 20 kind of favorite hard NES games.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's another good event. Have any other events planned
Good
of that
question.
caliber? I guess.
I don't think I'm ever gonna do a stream that long ever again.
Mm.
I think I decided that when the NES Gauntlet finished, I was like, yeah, I will not do this again.
Fair enough.
But I don't know. I do need to do a DK64 101% sometime.
Mm.
So there's that.
How long's the speed run of that?
Well, the record is like 5 hours, but
Oh my god.
like my PB, I did one run is like 13 hours. So
Yeah, I when I heard 5 hours for the speed run, I was thinking like add 10 hours to that, maybe more.
yeah, and I'm
My
familiar with it. I
gosh.
can do glitches. It's just like I don't know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably need to play through the route even just once in advance, and then I could probably get like sub 10 maybe. I don't know.
Don't you have
So
to like beat Donkey Kong and a bunch of other
yes,
stuff?
but that's the easy part.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. It's like it's harder than the original Donkey Kong actually. It like plays faster.
Mm.
Yeah. At least I think. I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah. Um
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um,
That
you have any games? You know what? I have two gaming questions, I guess. The first one I'll do is games you like to watch other people speedrun, but you don't.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll say Super Metroid. I have ran it
Mm-hmm.
once upon a time 16th place.
Ooh.
But Um, yeah, Super Metroid I like watching. Majora's Mask. Uh, what have I been watching recently? I really liked watching Jimmy Poopins do Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yeah.
Um, so I might even learn that someday, but I also might not like it. I'd have to see.
I was thinking about Ninja Gaiden 1 after watching Retro Runner because he was at
Hmm.
GDQ. And then at that GDQ, Spiker from like SMB1 runs Ninja Gaiden 2 and he was practicing it. So I got to
Hmm.
see a little bit of that too. Ninja
Right.
Gaiden games look fun to run, but not to like maybe casually play. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I like Mega Man 1 and 2. I
Hmm.
like most 3D Zeldas. Um, I've been watching Player 5 play Breath of the Wild a decent amount lately. Um, Sonic games, like Sonic Adventure 2, I liked watching Talon play that. Donkey Kong Country 2 is just like pinnacle 10 out of 10 gaming. And I have ran that. I have like not bad time. Uh, but yeah.
Hmm.
Um, game's great.
Yeah. I don't know much about DKC games. I've never played or really watched them. I guess I should open my eyes to it someday. I want to get into a lot more casual stuff too. I've been saying I was going to do it forever now and never fully dedicate time to it. Need to just do that. I've been working on a spreadsheet and stuff. So someday I'll get to it
Nice.
all.
Very good.
Speaking of casual games, do you have favorite casual games you would not ever think of running? Do you just play
Um,
games casually, I guess? I don't know why I'm bringing up running at all.
oh, I do.
Mhm.
Outer Wilds is a game that my friend told me I had to play, and I was like, I guess. I don't think so, but it's actually really cool.
Mm.
Um, it's like you shouldn't look up anything about it. Just you should just play it.
Mhm.
It's like this cool, unique experience of a game. It's really cool. But anyway, um, yeah, I play like most of the AAA Nintendo stuff. So Metroid Dread, I loved. I'm
Mm.
excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I played Pokemon Violet. Yeah, I like Jump King a lot also.
Mm.
Wouldn't you know it? Platforming.
Yep. You saw me beat Jump King.
Ah, yeah.
That took a while. That game is hard. You
Yeah, I might
played it just to
speedrun that
get,
someday. Be cool.
yeah, you played it just to see yourself in the game.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I love watching other people play that map and it gets there and I'm like, I know that person.
Yeah. I think I was watching that for the first time and I was like, what? It's that meme where, the guy's like, huh? You know,
Yeah,
that's me.
I remember I was watching someone play it, however, years like a year or two ago. I forgot how old that game is now, but I saw your profile picture and I actually DM'd you like, "Do you know about this?" And you were like, "No." So I sent a photo and you're like, "What?"
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's when you made the face like, "What?"
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you made it there yourself. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny because like a couple screens above it are like a bunch of streamers who played the game, but then just you were there. Like
Yeah.
not as a streamer, but like as a legitimate like Easter egg for
Yeah,
just stuff the guy likes to watch, I guess.
I like messaged him and he's like, dude, what's up? Yeah, cool stuff. I was like, okay. Thanks for putting me in.
There you go. So now your profile picture has been seen by millions because all of the top streamers play that game, apparently.
That's true. If only, man, if only I was watching them on a YouTube live stream where your profile picture is
Is
actually in
there.
chat and
Well,
like that's me.
I use that extension that removes that. So it looks more like
Right.
Twitch. So that doesn't even work.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
Well, I think I'm running out of things to ask. Can
It's been
chat,
good.
well,
It's
yeah.
been fun.
It has been fun. I enjoy talking to people. So that's why I do this. It is fun. Um, oh, I think you talked about that already. We went on a whole tangent about Suigi.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, quite insane. I think was the basics of it.
Yeah, well, basically, a thought I can add is I don't know. I really don't like the sentiment when people say like a game's dead or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like in the moment is whatever. I'm not like commenting on him saying that
Yeah.
because it's fine, but I don't know. A lot of people will be like, people won't beat this or whatever, or they'll even say like, someone might beat this in 5 years, or and that might be true,
Mm-hmm.
but it's because people like out the effort outweighs their desire to do it. It's not like because you couldn't or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like they just choose not to do it. I don't like
Well, it depends
even
on how
Suigi
dedicated
himself.
you are.
If his goal secretly was 1434, he'd be back at it. He could add like uh grab list chip clip or something, and he'd get it. Like he could get it next week if he really wanted to, and it just happened to come that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you already did it once, it always bothered me when like an SMB1 record has just been broken, and then people are like, this will never be broken again. I'm like, it was just broken. Shouldn't that tell you that like it can be broken? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone did say like rip 16 star. I said it too. But I think when people say that, they don't mean like forever. It's just like this isn't going to be beaten for
Yeah.
a
It,
long time. And I think that
yeah.
is true. Like that's going to stand because,
Oh,
at least in this case. Oh, did my
I died.
Oh, that was you. Yeah. I was staring at my OBS. Oh, wait, you are frozen.
My OBS is dying.
Hold Um I'll hide your frozen face from my stream. Um Oh yeah, OBS just turned off. Here, this is what it looks like now.
Here, maybe I can. Yo,
Hey, nice.
okay. Save.
Put up a picture of Cosmic Z True. It's a good backup. Anyway, what was I saying? Like,
Yeah, I think there's kind of two different conversations there
mm-hmm,
where one is like people just kind of memeing and like that's fine, but there's also this other faction that's like genuinely believes things can't be beaten, or
mm-hmm.
like I've just seen like a 70-star record get set and someone's like, no one could beat this, or like only you could beat this, and I just don't like that stuff
Oh,
because yeah.
I mean, I see that all the time in SMB1 now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know why, but yeah, like I don't know. I think usually it's just commenters that don't know much about anything, and I just ignore them because they don't know much about anything. If you're in the community and actually give a shit, like you're not gonna say things some people do. You're gonna know like, oh yeah, you're gonna be informed. So I don't know, stuff like that. Like
Right.
obviously people know the 16-star record can't be broken, but like he didn't make any like huge mistakes, so it could be if he doesn't play it because he's like 15 seconds ahead. Yeah, it could stand for years.
Yeah, 100%. Like it
So,
could. Just the fact that it does doesn't mean like
mm-hmm,
it couldn't have been broken. It's
yeah,
just like whether people really try or not. And
mm-hmm,
they're less likely to try if they think it can't be broken.
yeah.
That's the
You
whole
don't
point.
want people to think like, oh, well, I'm not even gonna try because it's impossible. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it could be demotivating.
Like
Yeah,
yeah, half the reason things don't happen is because people think they can't.
mm-hmm,
Basically. So
yeah. No, it makes sense.
very good.
Yeah. So you're going to pace, right?
Correct. I bought
Great.
my ticket.
Fantastic. So, despite me purchasing a ticket to fly and do this, we could still see each other this year.
Yeah, and they have streaming setups there, right?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, they have a bunch of computers, obviously,
Right.
but
I mean, I can
I
bring
don't.
some stuff. If there's any way to stream, like I want to do some co-op like
Oh yeah.
stuff with you.
I mean, you could record at the very least.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
obviously,
Yeah.
people had their open. Actually, Ouija might have streamed Call of Duty or something. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, that's
So,
funny.
yeah, it should be fine. I just don't recall anyone really doing it last time. But last time it wasn't that popular. This time there's gonna be like double the amount of people, I think, or something. Like, ugh.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Which is cool. No, like the first one was really cool. Although part of the reason I liked it is because it was more secluded. Like there weren't so many people there, so it's like, oh, you could talk to people and hang out. Like I every day, like one day I went mini golfing, one day I went to, this restaurant, one day like it was fun. You don't I didn't really do that at GDQs.
Uh-huh.
Really
That's
cool,
cool.
but I'm really excited for the flippity dibbity thing. I hope that all works out because oh my god, I am so pissed for not going to the first one, especially seeing like the videos now, like the amount of effort that was put not just to that, but like the video editing to like show. Oh my god, I would have loved it so
Mm.
much.
Yeah, we'll see how that one turns
Darn
out.
it. Yeah, I that first one in Denver like had so many um sponsors, and he got those group of people from was it a university to like film stuff and hired these people to like edit and stuff. I don't know if that much effort's going to be put into another one. I mean, I'm not going to speak for him, I don't know, but yeah, it's just part of the reason I hate not being at that first one. I just hope the second one can live up to the hype.
Yeah, if anything, the first one was meant to be smaller or like less.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. The goal is to grow it, and I hope that he is successful.
I upload these on YouTube right after. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel to see it.
Hmm.
Wow. Anyway, um,
Very good.
yeah. Uh, I think I've said everything I've wanted to say. So I guess we might be done here unless someone can quickly throw out some questions. Last chance, final call. Um, I have two YouTube channels. Uh, so it's the one with more subscribers is what I upload these to currently, at least. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap up then. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Sorry we couldn't do it live.
Yeah. Hopefully some
Well,
other
in
time. That
person,
would be
but
really fun.
yeah, we'd have
Still
to.
need to arcade stream or whatever.
Yeah, that dude. I was looking forward to it. Ah, cursed cheap airlines. How could they do this to me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Let me do Twitch stuff. I usually do that. Nice feature, by the way. Actual good feature Twitch has implemented. Let's
Right.
go. Because you don't see a lot of those. Uh, I'll upload the full thing if you missed anything tomorrow because today is not Sunday. But um, yep, I have a guest for next week, so everything's all ready. We're gonna keep doing this because doing this is fun and people like it, which makes me happy. All right. Well, uh, weird outro aside, because I'm bad at coming up with things to say. God, my when I interviewed myself for episode 0 is so bad. I suck at like coming up with things to say. I suck at self promotion.
Don't worry, GTAs. I listened to the whole thing.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or not. Um, yeah. Anyway, I guess just go follow stuff. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.